Tuesday night vibes, the mic's on fire. C3 Panthers Podcast, fueling desire. The professor bringing wisdom, Cody lacks raw wit. The voice and Bat Daddy, yeah, the crew legit. Live at 9, watch the sparks ignite. Carolina pride, teal and black take flight. Talking Bryce Young, got the future in sight. C3 Nation, roll deep through the night. Playbook, crafting that plan. Dan Morgan stacking talent, every move's the man. Panther growl loud, stadium lights gleam. From Charlotte to the globe, we reppin' the dream. Tap in for the breakdowns, the plays in the news. Analyzing every yard, never hitting snooze. QB1 Bryce, turn the doubters confused. C3 Panthers Podcast, always in the groove. The professor dropping facts, Cody's passion's alive. But Daddy wild takes, keep the theories revived. The voice with the insight, smooth as silk. Podcast sharp enough to cut no barley or milk. Live at 9, watch the sparks ignite. Carolina pride, teal and black take flight. Talking Bryce Young, got the future in sight. C3 Nation, roll deep through the night.
Maybe we're just saying we're going to take a drink of this Kool-Aid, and then we say, that tastes a little funny. The Panthers are streaking, and they're not naked. They're winning football games. And could we just be making a run for the division? And if you don't start or keep feeding and running Rico Dowdle, organized crime, it's criminal. It's criminal. But, man, the Panthers have a tough test ahead, hosting the Buffalo Bills coming off a bye. Vulnerable Bills, but still an explosive offense manned by a great quarterback and some real incredible weapons that the Panthers defense is going to have to prove themselves against. And, man, they might have to do it without Bryce Young at the helm of this, just when you need the offense to maybe go and win a game for you. You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. I'm Tony Dunn. My wheelman, Cody Lack, is always rolling with me.
Tony Dunn, the Carolina Panthers are 4-3. We are on a 3-game win streak, and we are currently in second place in the NFC South, baby. It's been such a long time since the Panthers have had the fan base this amped up, this pumped up, this ready for Panthers football. Last week, I said this was an opportunity for us to get that monkey off of our back and win on the road while we have not been a good road team. Now we get to face the reigning, defending MVP and the Buffalo Bills, and this is the biggest test to date. The question is, how much do we need Bryce Young? I feel like me and CK might even disagree. But Tony, there's no way I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than sitting here with my boys talking Panthers football, baby. We're going to do it with the best damn fans in all of YouTube. We got Joey the Blind Panther, Cheetah Wheeler, Harvey London, John B. Jenkins, JD, what's up, bro? Kristen Butler, The Bee's Knees, Kenneth, Mac07, Mr. Potato Head Tapper, The Real AP, Palmetto Money, and Tim Stellings. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Jump in the conversation with us. Get your calls in. We'll play them on tonight's show. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. CK, is it time to be optimistic and happy, or are we just one foot in front of the other right now?
I think it's fair to be optimistic and to be happy. We haven't been positive this late in the season since 2019. And to have this be where we're sitting, considering where we started the first 4 weeks of the season, is you couldn't ask for a better feeling, and we went into this I guess the past 4 games, or I guess 5 games if you want to count the Falcons, saying like, we have to win probably 4 out of those 5 games. And like, if we can win 4 out of 5, we have a shot. And here we are, we won 4 out of 5, and the one that we lost was against the Patriots team that right now looks to be rolling. So I think it's fair to have some optimism. It's also fair to be a bit worried, especially this week when you're talking about going up against a high-powered offense. But we saw what the high-powered offense was kind of watered down to when they faced the Falcons 2 weeks ago. So I'm not sold on the fact that we can't do the same thing, but I also know who we have on the other side of that field. And the Bills, unfortunately, have one of the best records coming off of their bye week since 2017. And Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks when you're talking about points per game or touchdowns or yards or whatever coming off of a bye week. So we're going to have our hands full. But after seeing the way that this defensive backfield performed this past week, I have confidence these guys can actually do something to hold these guys down, because I don't see anybody that I'm afraid of outside of the tight ends on this offense, other than James Cook.
Jets owner Woody Johnson said that the Jets fans are the smartest fans in the league because they know what's going on. Well, what's going on is this: the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets both entered the season with the NFL's worst record since 2018. Tied. Well, we're 4 games ahead. And last night, I'm smart enough to know that while I am 1 foot in front of the other, the Panthers trying to win a game here, there, optimism, like you said, CK. Boy, oh boy, as Cody says, teams are showing their real, true colors around
that time of year, boys.
And the Tampa Bay Bucks fall to the Detroit Lions.
They didn't just fall.
Destroyed.
They got paddled.
They got pile drives into the actual turf there in Detroit. It was a thorough ass kicking.
Do every team in the NFC South, save your very own Carolina Panthers, took an L this weekend, baby. Couldn't have gone better. We're in such a good spot. Everything that the Carolina Panthers want is out in front of us. We just have to go get it, boys. And I feel like this team is dialed in, and they know that. Time to protect the bank this Sunday against the Buffalo Bills.
A win against the Buffalo Bills, CK, makes us all of a sudden, probably insufferable.
Insufferable.
Delusional, maybe a tinge of delusion.
If we lose this game, I don't think anybody walks away feeling like we're worse, right? Like we're like, all right, we are who we are. We thought that nobody really thought we were going to come in here and destroy the Bills, right? There might be some optimism that we might pull out a win, but we don't think we're going to win by some significant margin of victory or anything along those lines. The only concern I have right now, which we're going to get into, I'm sure, is if Bryce Young doesn't play. And I really need Bryce Young to play. Now, do I think that he is a difference maker in this game? Maybe not. And the only reason I say we need him to play is because 2 things. He needs this win against a competitive opponent like the Bills. Number 1, you need that under his belt. If we lose and he's not playing, we're going to constantly be saying, well, we might have been able to win with Bryce Young. We don't know. Like, we really need that opportunity for him to come out here and go toe-to-toe with a quarterback the caliber of Josh Allen. I do think he gives us the best chance to win compared to anybody we have on the team. But do I think that the difference is going to be so tangible that we're going to be, noticing this? Like, I do think there's going to be a difference. We're going to see it, but I don't know that it's so starkly different that I'm concerned that we're going to lose simply because Bryce isn't playing. I think he gives us the best chance, but I also think this offense runs, differently with Andy Dalton at the helm too. So I'm not
But-
sure what to expect, but I do think that it makes more sense for Bryce Young to start if he can.
Vegas doesn't think the Panthers have a chance of winning. The Panthers are 8-point underdogs at home against the Buffalo Bills. But if you could find a way, and I think you're right, TK is not only. I think Bryce Young gives us a better chance to win, guys.
Sure.
You know, I mean, like I don't think there's a real question about that. And then on top of that, what it would do for him, the team, the future, right? Like it would be far more meaningful if the Panthers somehow pulled out a win. It would also create some sort of weird questions if they won with Andy Dalton. You know, you would have something about that, like what kind of questions would be, or you get destroyed with Andy Dalton, which is likely why you're 8-point underdogs. Tonight's show, guys, Panthers welcome return of the Red Rifle amidst NFC South resurgence. The Buccaneers fall in real epic form last night. I mean, tough place to go play against Detroit, coming off, and Detroit got shellacked. I think they were coming off a loss, and you know you're getting stuff together. You could see it was just so loud, so talented team, and the Bucs are dealing with injury. But as the Bucs kind of early surged and are coming down to earth, the Carolina Panthers are starting to climb the mountaintop with a 3-game winning streak, potentially a great, really a symbolic or a seminal win that could happen this week at Bank of America. The Panthers are undefeated at home as they host the Buffalo Bills, who have been up and down. Cody, the Panthers coming off an important win against the Jets. Not remarkably impressive against, according to Vegas, because it's the Jets. But the story coming out of there is a grind, a boring game, and we got out of there with the W. But the focal point is Bryce Young suffered an ankle sprain, first real injury of his career.
Yeah, it really is. Bryce Young suffered a high ankle sprain in Sunday's victory over the New York Jets and is expected to miss this week's game against the Buffalo Bills. This was confirmed at ESPN. The nature of Young's injury was confirmed by an MRI on Monday. Panthers coach Dave Canales would not rule out Young for Sunday during his Monday news conference, saying only that we're going to go day by day right now. Just look at him each day, test the ankle in different ways to see if we can get him back out there on Wednesday in some shape or form, he added. I saw him this morning, talked to him. He's like, let's push this thing. Let's see what we've got. So we're going to try to approach it but again, we're going to have to go through some milestones with our return to play with our training staff. And listen, I put a poll up on the YouTube. Do the Panthers need Bryce Young to have a chance to beat the Buffalo Bills? But Tony, CK, I feel like a lot of dudes on this team right now, now maybe they might not come out and say it, but I feel like some of these guys are still very confident in the abilities of Andy Dalton to be able to step up and get us a W if need be. Rico Dowdle says Andy comes in and works hard. He's a veteran quarterback that's played at a high level for a long time. That's why he's here. We have all the trust in the world in him. And listen, I saved this. My boy JD in the chat put this up here. He said Dalton has been moneyed in his initial starts, balled against Seattle, and balled against the Raiders the following season. And just to remind you a little bit of what Andy Dalton has done when he had to step in for Bryce Young in the first year against the Seahawks, Dalton went 361 yards against Seattle with a 47-yard touchdown pass to, at the time, DJ Chark. Really torched them, even though that was a losing effort. And then against the Raiders, Dalton threw for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and led the Panthers to scores on 7 of their 12 possessions. So, look, CK, I hear what you're saying. Obviously, we want Bryce to be there. And, Tony, you're right. This is an important matchup for Bryce, and it's a milestone for him to be able to beat a team like the Buffalo Bills. But, boys, I'm going to be honest. Our chances of winning run through number 5. That's Rico Dowdle. If you're able to feed Rico and take some selective shots down the field, I still feel like this Carolina Panthers team is just as viable to beat this Buffalo Bills team right now. And what I'm afraid of is that our vertical passing attack might actually look better with Andy Dalton under center. And I think that this is going to be a big test of what is and isn't ailing our offense. I am fine with Andy Dalton starting. I do not feel like if Bryce Young doesn't play, that our chances to win just go to hell. I don't believe that with how dominant this rushing attack has been and how good our offensive line has been performing.
CK, Andy Dalton is not the player that he was just a year ago.
I mean, he's the way that the thing that I look at Andy Dalton as is that, rest in peace, that Toby Keith song that I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Andy Dalton has the capability of playing one great game a season.
Yeah, there you go.
And as evidence as last year, we can talk about that Raiders game, and that was great things to see. But to not talk about how bad he looked the following 3 weeks after that is just cherry picking. I'm not saying you're doing this, Cody, but if you want to pretend like Andy Dalton showed anything of substantial elevation over top of Bryce Young last year, it was a blessing that he ended up getting hurt and Bryce Young was able to get that start again, because Andy Dalton looked worse than I think that he's ever looked in his career in those games where we were facing the Commanders and we couldn't do anything and Andy Dalton couldn't make it work. Now that leads to my maybe a slightly bit of confidence in this, and that he could come in here and this could be his one opportunity, his one game that he's able to come in and do something crazy. But he did not look good even this week. And we can talk about that throw he made to Xavier Legette at the end of the game, but everything up to that point, he wasn't throwing very good either. Like, this offense looks substantially different. Yeah. In the preseason, he looked horrible.
But listen, I'm not saying that Andy Dalton is as good as he once was, or that he needs to be the guy going forward. What I'm saying is I feel like Andy Dalton is comfortable pushing the ball downfield in spots where Bryce just isn't. Even that pass to Xavier Legette at the end of the game, to me, that was a gutsy throw. And I even think that he has a better connection with Xavier Legette through his time playing than Bryce Young does. Mind you, Andy Dalton has a career of throwing to big body, big target receivers. He had A.J. Green for most of his career in Cincinnati. All I'm saying is that the Carolina Panthers offense runs through the ground.
Yes,
Rico Dowdle and this offensive line is doing everything they can to put us in these games, and that's all we need. We do not need to depend on the arm of Andy Dalton to win like we needed to do in years past. All I'm saying is take selective shots down the field, mix it up after you've pounded the rock for a bit, and have that defense selling out to stop the run. Another thing is that the Buffalo Bills, they are not a good run defending football team. In fact, I would not
32, 31, 30, 29, 28th in the league, behind just behind the Giants. They're behind the Jets, Saints, and Giants. And actually, the Jets are not a good rushing defense team, strangely. It's
Tony,
crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo Bills went and tried to trade for another linebacker before the trade deadline, because, dude, they are abysmal stopping the run.
Do we want to talk about their
linebacker right now?
I have seen him make some plays. So I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, he's actually playing best out of their group, though.
Yeah.
So, if their group's bad, he's the best of the worst.
I don't disagree with that. The thing, and I agree, I think that this is going to boil down to how, if we can get the run game. I don't care who's at the quarterback at that point, right? If we can start running the ball and not have it, if it can be. What's the right way to put it? If it can be not a back and forth with the Bills, then I feel a lot better about that. But the problem with it is, if it is a back and forth, they're going to stop the run at least once or twice, right? And if we can't stop Josh, which again, the way our defense has been playing, we've been able to. If we can't stop him, then I don't know that Andy Dalton's going tit for tat with Josh Allen. But again, do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I don't think that I feel that it's going to be a back and forth, because I do think that this defense has the ability to stop James Cook. And the moment you stop James Cook, I think that it's going to look good for this defensive backfield and J.C. Horn after the game they had when they come back.
Well, I think the plan has to be to rush the ball, because right now, if I'm reading these stats correctly, is that the Bills have the second best defense secondary in the league, allowing 106 catches, 1,000 yards, almost 1,100 yards. Texans, Vikings, Chiefs, Panthers, not too far behind them. We're probably what's this one, but so they're extreme defense on good and bad. And so that does play to our strength. So the team needs to remember, run, Rico, organized crime against the Bills Mafia. Our Mafia versus your Mafia, organized crime, Rico Dowdle. Let's get it. Let's run on it. And good news in that running game. I don't know if it's next up in the show, Cody, but news that Damian Lewis is ahead on the depth chart, Austin Corbett, so could be making a return.
Yeah, we are going to get to that. I tried to center everything around the quarterback discussion first, since it's the most pressing thing right now. Yeah. So listen, something that we need to talk about, and that we talked about a little bit last week, was the emergence of Xavier Legette, and he continues to show out. And something that I already brought up is that Xavier Legette and Andy Dalton have a chemistry with one another. Andy Dalton said one thing, I feel like you just have to give him a chance to make some plays. Dalton said of Legette on Sunday. I think he showed today that he's been making plays, obviously, early on in the season. We're giving him some more opportunities. So when you get those chances, give him one-on-one. I mean, physically, there's not many people like him with that size and strength. Everything he can do, we haven't seen the best of X yet, and he's just going to keep getting better and better. And this is another interesting stat, right? Legette's previous career highs were 6 receptions for 66 yards and his first career touchdown against the Bengals in week 4 of his rookie season, with Andy Dalton throwing him the ball. Xavier said, I mean, Andy's a good quarterback. He finds me, so I'm going to keep it that right there. And to me, this is simple. Like, sometimes a quarterback and a wide receiver just have a connection and have a feel for one another. And I feel like Xavier Legette was drafted to be a downfield wide receiver. And my criticism of Bryce through this point has been, we don't really take those shots downfield. So I feel like the nature of how Andy Dalton throws the ball benefits Xavier more than with Bryce under center. Now, that's not saying that Andy is a better quarterback than Bryce, but I think the different styles of how they play definitely does benefit Andy Dalton, and it benefits XL. I think this is another big time matchup for him and Nalo, another big body wide receiver, to show just what they can do against this vaunted Buffalo Bills secondary. It's a perfect opportunity for everyone.
Dalton, like CK and I think, are really on the same page when it comes to Dalton. I like your reference of a one game. Like, he can do it for one game. He doesn't have the juice to sustain it. These veteran quarterbacks, where they can thrive in this, and where it's kind of a false sense of pushing the ball down the field, Cody. I think we pushed the ball down the field plenty, and as we've needed to and tried to anyway, maybe not have been successful. Right, because there's been a couple. You go back to those opening weeks, the T-Mac drop in the end zone. Right, there's been moments where you're going downfield. The thing is that with Bryce, Bryce is becoming an NFL quarterback. Right, like he's becoming, or he's trying to. I just saw Cam Newton talking about how Derek Anderson was so important to his development. Mike Shula. And he had the talent to be a starting quarterback, but becoming a starting quarterback and a leader was something that he learned how to do, and they helped him do it. Bryce is learning how to play in the NFL. He might have talent. He might have the paper stats. He might have all of this, but he's got to become that, where these veteran quarterbacks really can shine in moments, right? In short glimpses. is that they've been there, they've done it. And so one of the things I felt like with Bryce and throughout even some of his good games is to speed up a little, is step up, throw it, fire, trust your read, see the read, throw a ball before the plays even developed, in a sense. Know where you're going instead of waiting for it to develop. That's where these vet quarterbacks can do, is that Andy Dalton I almost feel like it's like a sort of a mirage of pushing the ball down the field, because it's 1, 2, 3, boom. Here's what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, boom. It's when things don't go well, arm gets hit, gets hurt, right? So Andy Dalton, I think, can come in there and be a timing quarterback. And we went back to last year when the benching happened, and a lot of questions was Dave Canales basically, did he have an easier time calling plays for a guy that's more of a timing 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, step up, 5, right? Instead of come on, get your feet right, get your timing right. But I think that this game is like, if Bryce doesn't play in this, I'm not going to go. I think we have a better chance of winning with Bryce. I think he's just better right now. And he's the guy that's had the reps, and we want him to grow and become and go through these moments. Going through these moments is part of Bryce's growth that we need to happen. So I don't think we're necessarily, but to Cody's point, CK, Andy Dalton is here for exactly this reason.
Yeah.
Right. So is that if you have an injury right here and it's a short-term injury, you're not completely dead.
No, I don't disagree. I think this is when we would have Cam Newton go down. You talk about Derek Anderson. He may not have been somebody you'd want to rely on a lot, especially that one time Cam got benched and he came in and just throw a pick 6 or something like that immediately on the first play of the game.
It was in Seattle.
And so like you have those situations, but there were multiple times when Derek Anderson was able to come in on a pinch and actually lead us to a victory. Now, do I think that that's something that is going to be something that we can rely on for more than 1 or 2 weeks? No. What I also think is concerning if Andy Dalton is starting is, the noise that's going to be created when that happens, right? You know what I'm saying?
Especially if he throws for 280, 250.
Right.
I mean, Bryce hasn't thrown for over 200 yards yet this season.
But that's what I'm saying.
No, it was a loss.
Don't we want to know this, though? So if Andy Dalton does come out there, again, with the same offensive line, with the same running backs and the same receivers, and then just fucking airs it out and throws bombs, just being real, being honest, I think that's going to let us know some of the deficiencies that we do have. No one knows that. You don't know that.
It should not happen. It's not going to happen. It should not happen. Statistically, the Bills are the second best secondary in the league, and one of the worst rushing defenses. You already said it, is that if they go out there and they throw 30 passes with Andy Dalton, they didn't have the right game plan coming in.
What I'm saying
it should be run Rico.
If they do, which is what Andy Dalton has literally done the last 2 years in a row, then we're going to have a lot of questions that we're going to need to be answering. Also, another thing is if Andy Dalton goes out there and looks terrible, then it also just speaks better to Bryce, and that we need to have him under center at all costs, like what CK is saying. So it could be a blessing in disguise both ways. If it goes good or bad, it shows you what you have in our quarterback when he isn't on the field.
Yeah, but I think the part that I say that is concerning is, let's say he goes out there and he plays okay quarterbacking, like 200 yards, maybe a touchdown, maybe an interception. I don't know, whatever you want to say, right? But we still win the game, right? Now, all of a sudden, the conversation is going to shift to, we don't really need Bryce Young to play well. I mean, to win the game. Yeah. And while that's something you want, you don't want to have it always be on your quarterback. I don't think that it's a fair indication, because when going up against bad defenses, Bryce Young has balled out too, right? We talk about how he played against the Cowboys, how he played against the Falcons, how he played, who, by the way, aren't bad, but how he played against the Cardinals, even though you take those first two, turnovers, right? when you're talking about playing against a bad defense, he has played really well. And now if you throw this let's say he mimics the exact same production that Bryce had against Dallas, people are going to say, see, Andy Dalton can do it better, and I don't think it's a fair
worst
equivalency.
It's the worst. What do we got next, Cody? We'll come back. I got some questions about the line and Bryce Young.
Yeah, so check this out. 35 point differential in the fourth quarter. That's second in the NFL. So we continue to put up some impressive numbers. And Tony, we argued last week, are the Panthers an elite offense? Which again, we're none of us are saying that we are, but that rushing attack has brought us to some big time W's against these teams. So much so, boys, we are second place.
I know.
In the NFC South. We are only one game behind Tampa Bay.
What you got with a guy that they're talking about, a quarterback that was in the MVP race, right? Is things are starting to settle right here. I mean, here is all of a sudden the Panthers. Look, the Panthers could be 4-4, and the Bucks have play the Saints. They're going to move to 6-2 likely, right? But 4-4 and 6-2, 2 games back. You're not where the division's not out of.
Not at all. We're right out of it.
But here the Falcons got Miami this week. So,
but wouldn't that be a crazy thing if the Falcons lost to Miami?
That would be awesome, right? And what would be really incredible is if the Panthers could move to 5-3 and the Bucks probably move to 6-2 and the Falcons somehow fall. And you continue to, you're the horse. You watch those races that people put the bets on, and it's like the guy and it's the horse. It's never the horse in the lead that wins the race, at least like that. You guys have a question about this? Going back to our discussion with Bryce Young and Andy Dalton, the line, the Bills are 8-point favorites. Is that number different if Bryce Young's a quarterback?
I think it naturally would go. To be a little bit, maybe it might be a 2-point, swing or something like that, just because of I think what somebody in the chat was talking about. I like I think those long plays that that are the big explosive plays are exciting, but I think keeping Josh Allen off the field is far more valuable. And the idea of scoring very quickly and putting our defense back on the field against a quarterback like Josh Allen, I don't think is necessarily a positive in that regard, especially given that gunslingers tend to end up having multiple interceptions when they are slinging the gun. No,
but we do need to score early, get ahead, and then rest on that rushing offense and let them settle in, put them into more difficult situations that your defense could be more prepared for, and maybe try to take James Conner out of the game some naturally by forcing them in passing situations. Vegas Drew with the super chat.
Yeah.
He says, I'll say it again. Whenever there are expectations, Bryce falters. Just watch the Jets expecting a win. Below average performance by Bryce. Prove
but
me wrong.
Hold on. What about we were playing from behind and he has a game-winning drive against the Cowboys? That's a direct, contradiction to your statement.
And the Cowboys went and shellacked.
Well, remember, he's not saying that he sucks. He's saying that he's mid. And
he's stating that he falters every time that there's no pressure. Or anytime there's pressure. And I think that's a direct
expectation.
So I do give Bryce
in excitement is what I think he means.
I do give Bryce all the credit in that, he was able to dig us out of a hole, or to help dig us out of a hole and bring us back against the Dolphins and against the Cowboys. I do not take that away from him. One of the things that I have been saying is that we have not had our socks blown off by any of the performances that Bryce Young has had this year. And this would have been an incredible opportunity for him to do so. Now, again, he has not been ruled out. They're going to see if he can practice on Wednesday. I will be interested to see how that line does change if Bryce is able to play. But look, man, I'm just keeping it real. I have seen better vertical passing attacks when Andy Dalton is playing as compared to Bryce. And I don't think that you're going to be successful passing the ball against the Bills unless you're taking shots down the field, because then they're just going to sell out and dedicate all of their resources to stopping the run. So you're going to have to be able to take shots. That's going to be important. And if Andy Dalton is able to come in here and do that, then that's going to say something. Another $2 from Panthers Drew says Bryce also needed 200 yards from Rico Dowdle in that performance. Dude, our rushing attack is literally the lifeblood of the Carolina Panthers offense right now. Like, if you're talking Dalton or Bryce Young, that's why I'm not too concerned if Bryce doesn't go. Because if we're able to run the ball and do things like we've been able to do against the Cowboys and against the Dolphins, then I think that we have great chances of getting another win at home in the bank, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't just because we have we can build on a rushing attack, it doesn't need to take away from a quarterback. In fact, that is what we want to see and helping Bryce Young become the player we want him to be. Cody, let's keep rocking, and then let's do one more topic and then take some goals.
Yeah, so listen, we have more results in this running back debate that we've been having. On 17 carries, Rico Dowdle had 79 yards, and Chuba Hubbard on 14 carries, 31 yards. So are we at the place where we feel like this is settled science? Rico Dowdle is officially RB1 for the Carolina Panthers from here on out? Or are we still trying to do this two-headed monster thing, similar to how the Buffalo Bills are doing with Ty Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? Which, by the way, if you saw the game last night, Jahmyr Gibbs is, in my opinion, clearly the better of those two running backs. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is incredible. I think that Rico does fit more of that Jahmyr Gibbs style of running, and Chuba Hubbard is more of the Ty Montgomery mold. But I like them both, but I think it's easy to see and see, okay, we were able to watch this game together.
Yeah.
Rico will just make a slight adjustment and just makes some magic out of nothing where it looks like there isn't a play to be made. Yeah. I think you have to run with the hot hand. Rico Dowdle is easily proving why he is running back one for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, it was there were multiple times when we were watching that game. Now, there weren't any giant openings or anything like that. I'll definitely admit that, but it was a very clear difference in just like, even with the nuances of being patient or cutting back or finding just this little crease in there. Like, I saw this one of those runs on Sunday. Like, there was nowhere to go, and Rico just got so small and just fit through this small little area and just came out the other side and got like 4 or 5 yards. It should have been a stuff, right? And there's a highlight reel of Chuba's runs, and many of those exact plays were stuffs, right? But somehow Rico was able to find, with some patience, some of that Le'Veon Bell patience that we talk about. He was just able to just find the slightest opening and just make something out of it. I don't think that you can sit the dude right now. I mean, I know he's not being benched, but I think you have to do what they did. Like, I think what they did in that Lions game is a great balance for something like what Rico and Chuba should be looking at. David Montgomery's a great back, but Jahmyr Gibbs is a clear explosive runner that you want to have in there a majority of the time. And I think you've got to operate with that same level of expectation with these two, and let Rico, I guess we could call him Chico, Chuba and Rico, have them have their split carries, but make sure it's heavily in favor of Rico.
You're muted. Nope, still not.
Dowdle has been a good player. He's been a great player. I mean, it's just been more. Again, I've said this for forever. Well, not forever. For it feels like forever. Last 2 podcasts we've had is saying that Dowdle's playing his best and better right now, and is more explosive. Is not shitting on Chuba. It is. Dowdle is becoming. he's one of the most electric players in the NFL right now. I mean, it's just that simple. Is that we saw Jahmyr Gibbs last night rip off a 70-something yard touchdown, right? And it's those big plays like that make the big stats. And it said when I was watching the broadcast, it was like second or third most touchdowns in his first 3 seasons. So we find these statistics that place you in lore. I mean, Rico Dowdle's had the most fucking all-purpose yards. He's like it's like in Panthers history or something like that, or whatever it is, and or in this
single game,
in a single game, and that's with Christian McCaffrey having a 2,000-yard season, like a 1,000. That's with Stephen Davis having a 1,600-yard rushing season. That's with D'Angelo Williams ripping off. He had the most. D'Angelo Williams had like the most 70-yard touchdown runs. Like he's like top 5 in NFL history.
D'Angelo was a freak. You had to see him.
He would rip the big ones off. You know what I'm saying? Like he would. And you're talking about this is like, then you see these stats again, placing Dowdle in this larger NFL context of him like having the most rushing or all-purpose or yards in a 2-game stretch since, like, I mean, and you're like with Hall of Famers. So I think it's a non-question.
Right.
I think we call him organized crime, RICO charges. I think it would be criminal not to rock with this dude. And I think it would make me think less of Dan Morgan and the coach as a GM and the coaching staff that like, oh, we paid this guy. We like him. He works hard, this and that.
Yeah.
You know what? Dowdle has done all the right things. He's not only done all the right things, he even said the right shit in the locker room afterwards when they asked him about what'd you think about series on? Did you know about it? He said, yeah, he knew about that and I was ready. You know what I mean? He didn't make a big deal. So look, his run Rico run. Let's hit those organized crime charges. Cody, I think unless you want to cover some more stuff.
There's one more that we can do, and then we can go into the calls and then transition to defense. You asked about this earlier on the newest depth chart. Austin Corbett is listed as backup left guard behind Damian Lewis on the Panthers' unofficial depth chart. We should have Lewis back in the saddle. And boys, this might be controversial. I feel like Damian Lewis is more important to the Panthers winning than whoever's playing quarterback. I genuinely believe that. The offensive line has allowed us to do everything that we've been successful doing. And just, look, me and CK watched it. We watched Brady Christensen and Austin Corbett straight up run into each other on a pull play. Yeah. That's not good.
They made fun of him on the broadcast. It was a bad play, but Austin Corbett was not awful in that game. First game back, no, it wasn't awful. This is a guy that you went and paid big money to move it, and this is a good thing, period. And we're talking about, like, imagine if you had Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis up in there, and you're rocking and rolling with Rico. Imagine the crime spree Rico would be going on then.
Dude, the more this offensive line gets healthy, the more I'm just ecstatic about what Dan Morgan has built and how we've been able to do this. But hey, Nirvash with the $5 says, I think Canales felt obligated to give Chuba carries despite Rico outperforming him in the last 3 games. Can't make sense of it otherwise.
Well, I think you can be professional, right? And to just be like, well, Chuba doesn't exist. It would be silly. But I think also that you would need to say that Chuba needs to be, everybody needs to know that. And look, we saw it. How about this? You just saw it. As soon as Dowdle was in there, the game got more positive.
The rushing attack was far more explosive with Dowdle than with
it was the eye test was real in that. I say incredibly important for us to pay attention to the first 4 games of the season when we were splitting carries. What we saw this past Sunday was very close to what we saw the first 4 weeks of the season. Like, we can't even really make an argument that this was just because we were facing a good, like, Chuba's had an off year already up to that point. And then the injury happened. And then it took having him off of the field for us to have historic numbers at rushing. Again, we can argue all day that it was because it was against, bad teams or what have you, but it's not, and you have to take that into account, that those cannot just be simply coincidences. And then when you see the performance that was clearly different, even against the same team running similar plays, I just don't know how you can look at the tape and say that Chuba deserves to split carries 50-50, as we are all big fans of Chuba. We have been for the past year. It's just, there's no logic to it to me.
Week 1, the Panthers rushed for 113 yards on 25 attempts against Jacksonville. 19 attempts in week 2 against Arizona for just 49 yards. 30 attempts in week 3 against Atlanta for 110 yards. New England trending up 28 for 129, even though it was a bad game. 32 rushes, 239 against Miami. 38 rushes, 216. 36 rushes, 125 against the Jets. And this is the other thing about Dowdle that I think is, and I've mentioned this several times. And I'm not trying to celebrate myself for mentioning it. I know it sounds like that, but like what I mean is that, like, we get lost is like, oh, the offensive line's playing this. Yeah. Dowdle has been really incredible. I mean, he's had some great moments where the line's blocking, but he makes shit happen even after it gets contact and then yards. And it's like not even just contact in 1 or 2 yards. He'll get contact sometimes and then rip off a 12-yard run.
Yeah.
And it's explosive. I think it would be just, I don't even understand it. I'm not saying that we don't need to rotate, but I think if you're the Panthers, if you're Dave Canales, who was coordinating that offense right now, should be thinking, this is my best weapon at every moment right now. He's my best offensive weapon.
Yeah, easily. And I so 2 more, another super chat. Nirvash with the $5 says, I think Canales felt obligated to give Chuba carries despite Rico outperforming him in the last 3 games. Did I read that one? No, there was another one. Hang on. This one, right? I think they're the same. All right. Well, one more I did want to highlight.
Well, thank you, Nirvash. If you gave us 2 super chats for the same comment, you deserve double the love.
Yes, sir. Shout out Nirvash. And then I highlighted this from ERH Demex. Brady Christensen has performed like a top 10 guard. Woo! So we haven't missed a beat without Robert Hunt. And I don't think that we should let that go. Brady Christensen is literally performing like one of the better guards in all the NFL. Dude, shout out to Brady Christensen. Not only is he a Swiss Army knife, but in a pinch, he can perform at a high level at both left guard and right guard. So, dude, this is incredible. Love Brady Christensen. The dude is the man.
Can I'll say this with that. Like, we've criticized the coaching staff for not really utilizing him when they could have in many cases last year. If he had been utilized, there's a good chance we wouldn't have been able to sign him in the offseason, and we would be sitting here figuring out who is our guard right now. And all of a sudden now that seems like the deal of a century, bringing him back, to the team. The problem is I'm pretty sure it's a 1-year deal. So dude's definitely getting paid next year. And are we going to be the ones to do it? I just don't know.
The number's 252-228-5098. Cody, let's take some calls.
Let's do it.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Cody from Charlotte, man. How y'all boys
What up,
doing?
man?
We're all having a good Tuesday, man. Just wanted to call in, recap the Jets game, talk a little bit about the Bills, and give my thoughts kind of as we're reaching almost the midpoint of the season. But, man, you know what? 4-3 after the first 7 games, man. 1 game left in October. What did I say all summer, man? You know, I know at least Cody knows this, but in CK and Tony, I've called in. I said, let's have a good September to October, and the rest of the season will play itself out. And that's exactly what this team did. 4-3 or 4-4 or 5-3 is fine with me. The one game I'll say that got away from us is definitely the Cardinals game. Looking at that team, they're 2-5. I don't know how we lost to them. But recapping the Jets game, man. Listen, I went up there with my buddy and my dad. Had a great freaking time, man. Met some awesome people. You know, loved New York City. And it was cool being in New Jersey. You know,
Yes,
as an
sir.
Italian man, seeing, you know, the New Jersey side of things, where MetLife is. It was an awesome experience. The stadium was cool. Got some great picks of Bryce, Leggett scoring. But this game was a defensive battle. And, like, the Jets have a lot of defensive talent. They really do. I mean, they played their butts off. Sauce was trailing T-Mac the whole time. So that was one of the reasons why, like, having a guy like T-Mac is you're going to get other guys open opportunities. And I'm glad Leggett is kind of taking advantage of that, where he should be. Like, him being the 2 in this offense is really, like, him working out is what we all should want. You know, as for Coker, I didn't see anything that impressed me with him. But anyways, listen, Bryce hurt. It is what it is. But if I'm being honest, this is a week where Andy could come in and literally win the game. You're talking about a Bills defense that is really bad at the moment, and bad rushing attack, bad passing attack. So I'm very interested to see what we do this week. And there is a good chance that we can end up, you know, potentially winning this game. So a little disappointed by the way we performed on offense in the Jets game, but they have some great defensive players. Let's get a win this week, man. Let's get a win. Let's fucking do it versus another New York team.
Yep.
Anthony from Charlotte.
Keep pounding, bro. It was our good luck charm up there in New Jersey, man. Hey, boys, did you also hear that at the end of the game, there was a keep pounding chant in MetLife Stadium? Yeah, them Panther fans are traveling, baby. Dude, listen, it was a big-time game. Like I said before the game, going on the road, beating a team. We were not a good road team. It was a perfect opportunity for us to get some more momentum heading into this matchup with the Buffalo Bills. I don't care what anyone says. That is a stingy defense that the Jets have, coached by Steve Wilkes, no less. And I was proud of our performance. You know, we were able to move the ball, not all game, but we were able to put the ball in the end zone when it mattered most. And that made me feel better about what we could potentially do against, let's be real, a worse defense in the Buffalo Bills.
The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go to the Hope Dealer.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Latt.
What's up, bro?
General Greg, the Stat Daddy. Salute. What up, y'all? It's the Hope Dealer checking in real quick. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So I don't know about y'all. I know that win on Sunday. It's always great to get a win. I got to say that I'm more excited about our 4-3 record and winning 3 in a row than I am about the way we won on Sunday. You know, but a win's a win. But I've had a chance to process a little bit. I'm gonna try to get this all in one call. But I was thinking about the Rico Chuba Hubbard debate, and I thought about this. Check this out, y'all. So running Rico right now actually protects our Chuba Hubbard investment. Think about that. We paid Chuba quite a bit of money to come back.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Chuba's a leader. He's shown that. and I still believe in Chuba Hubbard. I love Rico Dowdle. I think Rico is the hot hand, and I think we need to run him right now. But keep in mind, the NFL stands for, not for long. We don't know what's going to happen between either one of these backs. So it is a good problem to have. But I will say that I wasn't a fan of Canales' play calling in the fourth quarter on Sunday. When Bryce went down with that injury and Andy came in, I feel like Canales should have leaned on Rico to work the clock more and not these crazy pass concepts. It was kind of bad clock management. But yeah, I can't get it all in one call, y'all. I'm gonna call back with another short second call. It's the Hope Dealer.
All right, let's keep rocking with you. You bring us hope. You're dealing.
Hope Dealer, second call, real quick, y'all. But I did have a question, and I wanted to fit this in. Who are the juggernaut teams in the NFL? I mean, Tampa lost last night, so they're beatable. The Eagles are beatable. Kansas City's beatable. Who are the juggernaut teams? I mean, maybe Detroit? I mean, I don't know. I think at 4-3, though, we need to use some momentum.
It's one answer, dude.
Just a couple questions from y'all. Number one, who are the juggernaut teams? And then number two, why in the world did we sign Mike White to the practice squad when we have Hendon Hooker who's been here? I don't understand that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think Hendon Hooker has a lot more potential than Mike White. If we look at Mike White, we kind of see what he is. But those are my questions, man. But hey, this Sunday, the Bills' run defense is the fifth worst in the NFL. So we need to run that ball. We need to run the ball Sunday. But yeah, my question.
Oh, the fifth worst because they were on a bye.
And then number two, why in the world did we sign Mike White when we have Hendon Hooker? But anyway, this is the Hope Dealer, man. I hope everybody's being safe out there. Love you all. Keep pounding.
Yo, let me get a bag of that hope from you, homie. Please.
Yes, sir.
Give me get a 20 bag of that hope. I want it. The Bills, now he said the fifth worst rushing defense. Well, maybe I had him at that.
I also feel like I've heard a bunch of different things. I've heard the worst, then I've heard the fifth worst. Yeah. There's a bunch of different ones depending on where you're reading from.
I just looked at, we just pulled the stats up though. And when we say we're using, generally they just use a metric of rushing yards allowed, right? When they say worst rushing defense, not touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually yards allowed. But now that I think about it, is there teams on that list that have an extra game? So when I just counted out the teams that had the worst, and I'll pull it up. I mean, I won't pull it up. I'll tell you again. Let me make sure which one I got it. Rushing, defense. I'll get it in a second. But like that's my point is they had a bye last week. So if they have 800 yards allowed and another team that has an extra game has 900 yards or 820, it's not necessarily a stat you only look at in yards allowed. I want to deal with the Mike White question first.
All right.
Has Mike White been on the Panthers practice squad or has he ever had any involvement with the Panthers, or am I just thinking of some other?
No, he's played with the Jets. Okay. And he was on the Bills earlier this year.
Who was the dumb white quarterback that we had on the practice squad for like 2 years? I mean, I say dumb white. I didn't mean. I thought there was a guy named White. It just sounded such a generic name. I almost thought that he may have had some involvement. Do you guys think that he is being brought in case Bryce
for some intel? Well, I don't know. So they pushed up everybody a little bit, right? So
he's played with the Bills.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, man. You are getting some intel on what the weaknesses are, what their strengths are, what they need to do in certain scenarios. I love the move. To me, it's a good idea to do it. But Hendon Hooker was also elevated. To me, I don't look too much into it. If Bryce isn't able to go, I think it's just depth, being able to have guys that you can fall back on. Andy Dalton is older. Hendon Hooker also is older, but hasn't played football in a while.
He's not
Yeah.
that much. Oh, he's not that old. He's older.
He has his
than-
AARP card. Come
no,
on,
he
dude.
doesn't. He's definitely not 30. He's not 30.
But,
He's definitely
before-
not 30, but I think it might have to do with I think the intel. That's number one. That's the first point. The second point.
I mean, it's
would
only
be
fair. They have Shaq Thompson.
Agree.
So I did find this.
They also have like 9,000 other. It's like the two teams you can only go to if you're a Panther, a former Panther, are the Commanders or the Bills.
So this is from Hayden Winks. This is
Sorry, my kids calling me.
So this is the week 8 matchups, and the rushing matchups, and the Panthers are at the top right near eruption spot. So the Bills, they are not in a good spot at all. The Panthers have given up something like 131 rushing yards in 3 games combined. Like, the Panthers are stopping the run. This is everything that we've wanted them to do the past 2 years in a row, that we've said that we've needed them to do. And they're finally doing it, CK. They are stopping the run at a high clip. And now, how about this? For a rushing attack like the Panthers that has been on fire, this might be our best matchup this year. The best chance for the Panthers to continue to pound the rock and look dominant, man. How awesome would it be if Rico and Chuba could have some 100-yard performances, bro?
Brother, it would be I'm not gonna say it's impossible, right? You know, Chuba could come out here and prove that he deserves to still be splitting those reps equally, if not taking over the reps. But right now, that's best case scenario. These guys both come in here and we have double trouble happen all over again. But I just don't think that we should be relying on that going into this game. But yeah, that's looking like a favorable matchup, that's for sure.
Let's go to the first question from the Hope Dealer. Was
the Juggernauts.
The Juggernauts. And I like this because when I was thinking about the 3-game win streak, I have really been inch, fight, claw, scratch, Panthers, get a win, get a better quarter, get a better series or something like this. In my mind, there has been no idea or even desire to think about, like, could the team be something, right? Like, what I want them to be is just better than they were.
Right.
But last night, as I watched some of the football of the league, or yesterday, 2 days ago, Sunday, and then Monday night, capping it off with the Bucs loss. And you see, and I'm sure that you've gotten a lot of tweets about this, Cody, about how who's your boy from Houston?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'm sure you've gotten tagged a ton in his performance. You see, this is that everybody, look, you had the Commanders who were, in some eyes, could be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Get fucking destroyed by the Cowboys. You have the Baltimore Ravens decimated by injury, but even when Lamar was there, the defense was decimated. They're just not good, not winning. You had the Kansas City Chiefs maybe again becoming the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills are vulnerable. So who are the juggernauts? There's another wild story that the Green Bay Packers, before this past week when they won, they were like, and their record right now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll tell you the Green Bay Packers record is the Packers are 4-1. So they were
4-1-1. They have a tie.
They were 3-1-1, but they had not won a game in over 30 days. Can you believe that? Like, you could be like, it's like the calendar. They win their, like, they win their first 2 games, then they get a tie, then they have a loss, then they have a bye. 30 days without a win, and somehow, who are the juggernauts? And then on top, and even to complicate that story, is you have like teams like the 49ers who are 5-2, who have been decimated by injury to the level and the degree maybe that the Baltimore Ravens have, but are finding a way to put it together. The former Super Bowl champions, I think too, left. No one looks at them right now as a juggernaut. Maybe last week's this past week's performance helps. There's only one answer to this question. The best team in the NFL by far.
We're probably going to say the same answer. Maybe.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, dude.
I've been on that Colts.
Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor.
Dude.
Hey, how about Tyler Warren, the tight end that I said was going to be incredible coming into the NFL? He is. He's probably the best rookie in the NFL right now. The Colts are badass. I think they're a juggernaut. But Tony, let's also be real, man.
Colts are 6-1. James McFadden. They have the best record in the NFL.
They just beat the Chargers.
They have the number one rushing attack in the NFL.
That have
Jonathan Taylor. So listen, let me say it like this, right? And Tony, you know, I'm a broken record at this point. You don't see who the best teams in the NFL are until after that week 6, week 7 sort of demarcation point. I still think that some of the juggernauts are not necessarily the teams that have these incredible records right now, that have faced some adversity. So
you don't think the Colts are a juggernaut?
Well, no, I do think they've earned that right. I think they look incredible.
They're real.
But
I think beating the
I
Chargers
also think that there are some teams
on the road.
There are some teams that I do think are juggernauts that you don't want to play, that maybe the NFL media writ large wouldn't say. I still feel like the Chiefs are a juggernaut.
Yeah,
because
they have the Chiefs are here. Look, think about this, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but like just to further the conversation, in a sense, the Broncos are 5-2. They're the leader in that division.
Yeah, and the Broncos are on pace to break the 85 Bears sack record.
The Broncos are, you don't want to fuck with them right now, and New York did fuck with them. And I mad credit to the Giants in that game.
Yeah.
And those young Bucks,
looks good.
Their linebackers talking shit about too much bravado, and they came out and fucking basically smoked them. And look, good for the Broncos pulling out. But look, the Broncos 5-2, Chargers 4-3, Chiefs 4-3. I think the Chiefs are a better 4-3 team right now than the Chargers. That's why I'm not trying to interrupt you, but the juggernaut at 4-3.
So
who else do you think?
So I still think there's a few
the leaders.
And I want to hear some of CK's too. I think the Lions proved that they're still a juggernaut. They were missing a bunch of defenders in their backfield last night, and they still put belt to ass on Tampa Bay. Let's see. I think that a juggernaut. Dude, the Eagles, they had a really good passing attack. They got A.J. Brown the ball. They got Devonta Smith the ball. A lot of these teams that have been winning in recent years, they know how to win down the stretch. So those are some of the easy answers, but I agree with you. I don't think a lot of teams want to play the Broncos right now. I think the Colts, like we already said, are a damn good team.
How about this? What's the best? All right, CK, I'm turning the mic over to you on this.
Sure.
Is this why? I mean, your juggernauts. The Lions are second in their division.
Yeah,
they're 5-2. They have one more win than the Packers.
It's Seattle.
No, in their division. The NFC North. Packers, Lions, Bears.
Yeah. There was.
The Packers are 4-1-1. The Lions are 5-2. The Bears are 4-2. The Vikings are 3-3. This is a good division right here, or at least tight division. I love how the Lions. I mean, I don't love this. I think this is so dumb, but I mean, not dumb. But the Packers beat the Lions, so they have that advantage over them, and they have one less loss, but they have one less win. Played the same amount. Oh no, the Lions have played one more game. So the Packers are ahead of that division. CK, who do you see as the leaders in the NFL? And then I can't wait to tell you what the best division in the NFL is.
Who do I think the leaders of the NFL are right now? I am going to have to say, dude, if I'm looking at the NFC, I'm going to go with. Dude, this is such a hard question.
Do you want to hear some? I'm going to hear some of the numbers.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
all right.
Seattle.
This is a great. Seahawks are 5-2.
Yeah,
Here
I'm
are
gonna go
5-2
Seattle.
teams for you, by the way. The
The only
Eagles
reason-
are 5-2. The Lions
Bucks-
are 5-2. The Bucks are 5-2. The Niners are 5-2.
Seattle has a nasty defensive front.
Seahawks.
They're the most complete team in the NFL right now. To me, is the Seattle Seahawks.
And dude, Sam Darnold, man, he's looking fucking good.
He's
man.
making Jackson Smith and Jigba look like the best receiver in NFL right now.
He is.
And when you have that, you have their running game that is just absolutely getting home. You have that defense, like Cody said, like it is next level. And not even just the defensive line, that backfield. I was watching that game against the Texans. They were just all over the place, dude. They were making that what once was a vaunted Texas offense. They were making it look like it was Carolina Panthers from last year. You know what I mean? It was wild.
The best division in the NFL is the NFC West. The 49ers are 5-2. The Seahawks are 5-2. The Rams are 5-2. Cardinals 2-5. Maybe runners up the NFC North 4-1-1. Packers, Lions 5-2. Bears 4-2. 3-3 for the Vikings. Eagles are 2 games ahead of everybody in their division. If you go to the AFC, here's a team actually. And to finish out the Hope Dealer's comments or question, the Patriots may be the second best team. They're the 3 best teams in the AFC are number 1, the Colts 6-1, Patriots 5-2, Broncos 5-2, Steelers are 4-2, Chargers are 4-3. I think this is I'm putting my rankings there. I gotta say Colts. Like the only reason that you will not say they're the best team in the NFL right now is because you just don't believe that the Colts could be the best team in the league with Daniel Jones. And you're like some stupid ass fantasy football warrior who thought that Jonathan Taylor still wasn't fucking one of the best running backs in the league. When just 2 years ago, he's like the first pick. I hate fantasy football. They only just go off of last year's stats or whatever.
Yeah.
The Bills, we got to put the Bills out of this question.
That's what I'm saying, man. And look, like it's what I was saying, Tony, how a lot of these teams that have a culture of winning, you can't count them out yet because they know how to win when the football months turn really cold. This is an opportunity
or where they need to
win. For us to strike some fear into the hearts of Bills fans saying, whoa, man, we lost to Atlanta. If the Panthers come out and beat the Bills, they might have some real problems going forward. And everyone knows the AFC is a slaughterhouse. There's so many fucking dynamic teams in that conference. I mean,
this is, but they're just.
Okay,
the AFC is starting to look like the weak link of the NFL right now.
Can I just say this? So this is how I want Panthers to make the Buffalo Bills fans sound after we beat them, because this is what we did to the Jets.
Y'all see them and get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like,
I'm not having children.
I hate this team.
Hey, man, you know what? I feel him. I feel
Yes,
that,
we've
dude. You know
been
what?
there.
We were just there 2 weeks ago, dude. We were there 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Come
man.
on, like, I mean, we're not that different. Great question in the chat. Who have the Colts played? The Colts beat in their opener. No, they beat the Dolphins 33-8. Okay, but they beat the Broncos at home,
who, by the way, aren't
who are
pushover.
5-2. They have lost to their only loss was to the Rams. They have not played incredibly great teams. I mean, obviously they played the Titans.
When
they
neither
played
have
the
we.
Raiders. They played the Cardinals. But this last win against the Chargers on the road and dominating them, guys, where I thought the Chargers were the best team in week 2. I thought these guys were about to run away with it. And I was listening to Cody week 6. Let's wait for it. No, here, listen to this though. This is what the Colts got. They got the Titans at home next. So the Colts are good, like 7-1, playing the Titans at home. They got the Steelers on the road, who are pretty good, okay, but vulnerable. We got the Falcons at home. We are Colts fans, bro. We are Colts fans. They're going to play the Falcons at home. We need them to win that November. They're in another country. It's 9:30 a.m. We want the Colts to upset the Chiefs just because we don't love them. The Texans, for all y'all CJ Stroud, Bryce Young debaters who fucking hate CJ Stroud, we want the Colts to fucking demolish them on November 30th. They got the Jags, the Seahawks. These guys got the fucking Colts got, not only maybe have they not beat anybody, but the hardest teams they have to play are the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Steelers. And
Tony, doesn't it also show you too something that we've seen so many times now when you look at Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, that a lot of times these quarterbacks, they do just go to a team that isn't utilizing their talent, that isn't putting a good supporting cast around them,
or doesn't ask them to be a savior. Doesn't ask them to be a savior.
There was a literal competition in Indianapolis between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, and people were like, "Oh, listen, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback." But I mean, they literally showed, dude, if you take a good talent and put pieces around him, it helps when you have Jonathan Taylor, which I believe Jonathan Taylor is the leading rusher in the NFL right now. I believe he's the leading scorer at the running back position. You add Tyler Warren, who's a dynamic beast blocking and catching the football. And now all of a sudden, Daniel Jones looks like who the Giants drafted Daniel Jones to be. Since we're talking
the Colts are a 10-win team. Somebody in the chat, Mark, says Colts will be handled soon. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not that great, but they are going to win against the Titans. They're going to win 4 more games.
I think what's going to happen with
10
the Colts,
or 11 wins.
I think what's going to happen with the Colts is it's going to remind me a lot about what happened with Minnesota last year. I think that they're going to go pretty far. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be considered a real contender.
Be a 10-win team, but then be bounced in round 2.
Yeah, they're just going to get into the playoffs, and I think, and this is no knock on Danny
play
Dimes,
like the
but
Chiefs in a wild card game.
Yeah,
the wild card Chiefs.
Oh, dude, that's so wild.
Fucking assholes.
But that my point being is, I think that they are going to falter in the playoffs. I think that the playoffs are one of those things. It's the same thing if that happens with the Panthers. They make it to the playoffs. I'm not anticipating them going very far because, like, I just think you have to learn how to be there in some cases, and I think that's a hard thing to prepare for, especially after a really long season. And none of our players are accustomed to playing more than 17 games.
The thing is, though, that what people are going to sleep with the Colts is that their defense is good. It's not just Jonathan Taylor. It's not just Daniel Jones because, like, he had them 5. Like, he had these crazy stats in the first couple of games. That defense, I've watched them a couple of times, and they're like, oh, they're about to get exposed. And they're on the 20, and they get a pick. They're fucking making sacks. These guys are rocking, man. They are playing a hard-hitting. The Colts are fun. They're my favorite team right now in the NFL.
So a team who is not having
a
team who is not having a lot of fun. Someone who a team that everybody thought was going to be one of the better, if not the best team in football. The Baltimore Ravens have done nothing but lose, but they're in the news for a different reason. And I have to get you guys' thoughts and opinion on this. After falling to 5-1. The Ravens removed the players' ping pong table.
1 and 5. 1 and 5.
Video game consoles, basketball hoop, and cornhole boards from the locker room.
That's
fuck yeah!
By the way.
You said 5-1 after 1 and 5.
My thing is why is it that one season of losing will cause the Ravens to do this?
Because there's a Hall of Fame coach.
Seasons of losing didn't get the Panthers to do it, dude. What the hell, man?
I agree. It's the pedigree
Hall
of the
Fame
coach.
coach.
Yeah,
and we're not dumb, and it's not stupid, and it's about grind. Good for them. I can't ever get the Jim and John's correct.
So
but that Harbaugh.
Yeah. You wanna continue with the show, or you wanna take some more calls?
Let's take one or two more calls. Let's see. Yeah, let's take a couple more calls. Let's rock through these.
C3 Panther Nation, what's up? It is your boy Preston.
Is it clipping?
Oh man.
Is it too loud? Tell me.
Again, did we all enjoy
It keeps coming in and out.
No, I just changed it.
No, I think it was pretty ugly. Hey, you can shut the fuck up, all right?
Up or down, guys? Volume.
And we got that motherfucker. So we all enjoyed it.
It's fine.
All right. On to the next. Now we're moving in to week 8 with Andy Dalton. Now I say Andy Dalton. We're gonna need that motherfucker to beat the Red Rifle on this Sunday. I already saw the picture of Bryce in the boot. Again, praying for him. Hopefully he's not out too long. But hopefully Red Rifle will show up this coming Sunday and beyond, because I think our defense has found their stride. And you got Derek Brown and J.C. Horn playing like all pros. Those boys are balling. So defense has hit its stride. I think the offense is serviceable enough to be complimentary and to play complimentary football. Go out there and put points on the board. We most definitely need that against the Bills. We know the birth of day posts. We know who the quarterback is. But we got running back too. If they get him going, James Cook is a monster. But I actually believe we have a chance. As long as we contain the run, if we can stop the run, force Josh Allen to throw. I know that sounds insane because he's good, especially on the run. He's really good throwing the ball. He's obviously the reigning MVP. But I really believe our defense can do something this week, guys. We just got to keep I think them defensively, they're not as strong as they have been in past years. And I think offensively, especially in the run game, if we can have stout running offense this week and play some pretty damn good defense, I think we'll be all right. But, hey, that's all I got this week, boys. I'm actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to predict a win. I mean, hell, the Falcons beat them. We beat the shit out of the Falcons, so
yeah,
that's right. All right, boys. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Oh, and fuck that. If you ain't subscribed yet, fucking subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button, baby. Listen, it's okay. There is energy amongst this fan base. It's been a while since we've won 3 in a row. And since we started slow, then came back, and now we're above 500. Like, this feels like no one even thought that we were going to have a shot at doing this year. This is big time for us, man.
I understand if there are some people that refuse to get overly optimistic, and I understand what that stems from. And that comes from the fact that after 2017, there have been, I would say, 3 times that we've started a season and we were like really like we were winning, like we won 3 games in a row to start the season in 2021. That in 2019, it was that Kyle Allen magical run that we had that then just went absolutely nowhere. It's just, we've had so many of these situations where it was like, maybe we can do it. And it just, every time we've fallen flat on our face. So I understand the hesitation and being excited about this team right now, but man, it feels good to actually be hopeful about this team. And we said at the beginning of the season, there's a different type of energy in this locker room. And these guys are playing for each other. They seem to have a great deal of chemistry. They have a high energy. Man, I can't wait till we get rolling, because I think this team's going to be so fun to watch if they can start to actually string some important wins together like this Buffalo game.
Is this not the truest test of the defense?
It's probably the most important test, but I don't know if it's the truest test.
Best offense we played?
It's the best. The Cowboys is the best offense we played.
Well, all right. After last
The
week,
Cowboys are putting up really good points.
Well,
but
how about that? If you want to believe, if that's the one, like that was like, hey, when I said that the defense was the best part of the team, that they were doing the thing, people still wanted to, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they're wrong. Like, is this real? Is Evero? Is it, what is this? Is this? To me, the Jets win was important because with Panther fans, it helped us to start to help. If we lost this one, it's kind of like that New England one was. Yeah. That you lost that, you had the 30-0 shutout against the Falcons, then you go and lay a fucking egg against the Patriots, who are a good team and are turning out to be a good team. I think they're going to Tennessee this week.
By the way, it was still competitive. The Patriots and the Bills.
I don't know if it was competitive.
It wasn't a blowout by any stretch of the imagination.
They routed us, but the defense, everybody, no one.
No, I'm talking about the Bills versus the Patriots.
Oh,
that wasn't. Dude, the Patriots fucking kicked our ass.
No, I'm talking about us. Is that we come off a 30-0 shutout against the Falcons, and Tony Dunn had been saying this defense fucking good. I mean, like pretty good. Like they're the thing that's been the thing on this team, and rightfully so. People are hesitant to is it real? Is it real? How good?
Sure.
Right. And even that 30-0 shutout against the Falcons, no sacks, and then the next week the Patriots just fucking blow us out, and you go, oh, should we even believe in that for real? Then you play the Dolphins. Then the Cowboys now, after this week against the Commanders, continues to lend credence to their offensive ability. But after the Cowboys game, we were excited and happy about the performance and the kind of name national recognition that comes with the Cowboys. But we're not sitting here going, the Panthers got the best fucking defense. Like,
right.
Oh. And then the Jets, it was like, you could have a stinker against the Jets. Somehow, a loss would have reverted everything. We would have been in question mode. The Bills come in here and they put up points and the Panthers lose. You're going to start saying, is the defense really, really real? Are they okay? If the Panthers pull out a win against the Bills, you're sitting here now going, our fucking defense is the truth. It's real. So it is it's kind of like it's not that pivotal, but it could be seminal. If we lose this game, it will not really alter, or it could, there's a way it would not entirely alter the trajectory of our season. But if the Panthers somehow win this game, but if they win this game, it could alter the trajectory. That means that your defense you're like, oh, this motherfucking defense ain't nothing to be fucked with. Like we are, we have the Cowboys. Now we have this is a launching point. And CK, I'm so with you on this. Is like, I really want Bryce to be part of it.
It's a tough
for me.
situation.
I'm selfish on this.
I agree. I think that in Cody, he's not wrong. You're not wrong on what you're saying. Like, I don't know that. I think they're different quarterbacks. That's really what it boils down to. I think they're different quarterbacks. I think that Andy Dalton is on that downward trajectory of his career. But from the
arm
perspective,
cooked, bro, he can't throw the ball more than 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, the situation with regard to Bryce, if we go out there and we just do nothing, right? I think it's going to be an excuse. It's going to be people that are, like G Baby, like myself, that are maybe more of the Bryce apologists, who be like, see Bryce Young. But it's so silly to do that, because it's any given Sunday, as they say, and one Sunday to the next, you might have Bryce Young playing great. The next, you don't know that Bryce Young would have changed anything. They could have just dialed up some crazy good defense or confused the heck out of people. And so I don't think it's a fair, no matter what, I don't think it's a fair way to approach the week. And the only way we get the answers that we really need is for him to be in there facing a team like the Bills right now. Because I think the Bills are a better defense all around than what he faced in against the Cowboys. But I think that the offense might be there. The Bills' offense might not be as potent as the Cowboys. So it's kind of it starts to put the pressure on Bryce Young and his arm if they do just sell out to stop the run.
But they do have Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They got a fucking game wrecker.
Yeah.
They
Agreed.
do. And Dak is doing Dak right now. Dak, when he's healthy early on, he be cooking. And then he gets a little nicked up, and then he has a bad thing, and then he's just regular old kind of like better than Dak. Dak is a word for a little bit better than average.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen is a fucking game changing record.
And by the way, Cam Newton says that Josh Allen is his favorite quarterback currently playing because there are a lot of similarities between them. And shout out to Kristen Butler. She says, I'm predicting Josh Allen's going to be extra mobile playing us for sure. So between him and James
just slings it though, man. He is, if anything, and
is the truest definition of a dual threat. You have to respect him everywhere. He can run all over you, and he can chuck that bitch 75 fucking yards off his back foot.
And he's starting to get fucking instinctual. He's not looking like he was in his early years where he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like now he's starting to be a fucking...
He's Peyton Manning with a cannon.
Menace. Let's go to G, baby.
Hey. You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka. What's Gucci with my boys? What's Gucci with your Cody? What's good with your CJ? And what's Gucci with my white Italian harvest? Let's get into
What's good, G? Real love.
I thought it was mighty funny how the national media and guys just in the media just immediately determined that Bryce Young was out. And anyone, like, they just boom. I'm seeing reports everywhere the next day, Bryce Young's out.
He was in the boot.
And the next thing I see, a presser of fucking Dave Canal saying, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute, man. Bryce Young is day to day. That shit pissed Dave Canal off, and that sure as hell pissed fucking Bryce Young off.
Oh my God. G baby stumped for anything.
I'm out all of a sudden. Like, not even, no injury report, no nothing. Nothing from the head coach, organizer, nothing.
G baby sound like in a fishbowl.
National media just dictating, Bryce Young is automatically out against the Buffalo Bills. That automatically let me know what the fuck is going on in the NFL. No one wants to see us beat Buffalo, boys. I'm telling you right now, the NFL and just America in itself does not want us to beat the Buffalo fucking Bills. You want to pull some weird shit. It just really opened my eyes to a lot of shit. But I do believe Bryce Young has a chance at playing. It's going to be a heavy takeoff if it is even his ankle. Did you guys see the video of Homie? That shit looked intentional as fuck when he stepped on his calf. That doesn't even look like a high ankle sprain. I just think that they deemed it as a high ankle sprain. It's not like he.
Bro, when you are that little, everything, his whole leg is a high ankle. I'm telling you, this is a first injury for Bryce.
No, he got injured his first year with a sprained ankle.
Did he?
Yeah, he missed some days. That's why Cody was referring to that game.
Derek Brown, Trayvon Bowman, Bryce Young, King Bryce, obviously. We got Nala, we got Jalen Colby back.
G baby, why are you in a fishbowl? I'm kind of mad about this comment. From Ken, not mad. Ken. Ken 88. Thank you for. Well, but I'm not playing it if you still sound like you're in a fishbowl. But I love you, G baby. I'm like, good boy. You know what? Because he knows how to butter my wife. I tell you, but he had me at that. Who is it? Ken 88 said this. He said, "Stop glazing on Josh Allen." Who the fuck is better in the NFL? That's what I like. This is what I would say is straight up and like, who is really the better quarterback? I mean, arguably. I mean, honestly, it's Pat Mahomes is the truth of truths because he's got the rings, he's got everything. He can do anything. You can have 8 seconds left on the clock and be on the 9-yard line on his own and somehow pull out a fucking win and pay off the rest. Did you see that AI video where they like kissed he gave money to the refs?
Yeah.
It's like somebody said the
Dude,
AI
is
it was so funny. That was
so
funny
funny.
AI. But like, I mean, can
I tell you my big four?
Are
So
we
for
really
me-
glazing?
No. So listen to me. I have a big four. If I got to start a team from scratch, there are 4 quarterbacks that I would absolutely love to have that I think anybody would. I think it's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I said 5, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert. And to me, those guys, you can build a franchise around them.
CK, that list is nice. The only person I will take over Josh Allen on that list is Pat Mahomes because of his record. And then I'm like, all right, I got to make a decision between him and Lamar.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here going, who was it? Was Burrow and who was the other one?
I think Burrow is still a question mark. I think Herbert has
really not in.
His injuries are a big problem at this point, and they might be
game.
They may not. They're fluky, and I get that, but it's hard to. It's same thing with the J.C. Horn situation, right? We were talking about him being injury prone when he first came into the league, even though each one of his injuries were not it's not like a Jonathan Brooks where it's the same knee, right? But you've got to have that. I think I would still be really concerned about trying to put Burrow in that top 5 just because of that alone. Herbert is an enigma.
Well, I mean,
I don't understand.
Is that we need to see more. We need to see some.
The problem is we do a lot of times, but like they
just fell off, right? I mean, you can say it's the offensive line. You can say it's all of this. Mark says this: Matt Stafford and Jared Goff. All right, Matt Stafford is
Jared Goff has been balling the past 2 years.
They're good quarterbacks, but we're talking about build. Like this is the guy we're picking teams. So if we walked out there and I had a pick, Mark, and you had a pick, and we could only pick quarterbacks. I'm not talking about team build. Like we're just straight up saying you get one pick, I got one. We're in the backyard.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is 39 or 40 years old. He is incredible. I'm not gonna lie, he is great. But you're really trying to tell me that you're gonna go, oh, you know what? I'll take Jared Goff. I'll be like, thank fucking God that this guy over fucking. Well, who were we talking about?
I mean, I mentioned like 5 quarterbacks.
Talking only about the Bills quarterback being the best. The second best, is Josh Allen. If you're gonna I think there is an argument. Like I respect. I'm with you, C-Dog. I would say this: if C-Dog and I were picking teams and we're there, and it's like no Pat Mahomes, and we got to pick, I do think that's where I'm at. I'm like, is it Josh or Lamar? I'm Josh or Lamar. Josh or Lamar. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of coin flip. But don't tell me that you're gonna pick fucking Jared Goff over Josh Allen. Don't tell me you're gonna pick, and let's not over lean into what people used to do. So Matt Stafford, I like Matt Stafford. I think he is an incredible quarterback, and I think he's like one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation in a sense. But I'm not picking Aaron Rodgers today over Josh Allen.
No. Although he did play well against the Bengals. He is looking pretty good so far.
To Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't really, making that offense look the way that he can make. Keep in mind, he made a lot of mediocre.
Aaron Rodgers threw the deepest pass in the NFL since 2017.
I'll believe it. The dude's still got a cannon. I'm not arguing that front whatsoever. What I'm stating is like Aaron Rodgers used to make mediocre wide receivers look like top 5 in the league. And he's not doing that right now, even with DJ Metcalf.
Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers of 8 years ago. Right. I mean, he's good.
A lot of people hate him. I like him.
I like him. I think he's I think he's good. I think you could win with him.
Yeah.
I want to know who are the top, like, honestly, and not just like what they've done in their careers, but like where they are and could be. Yeah. And I don't know if I can understand the argument for Mahomes. I can understand the argument for Lamar Jackson. Until this year, I would even say Jaden Daniels. I'm like, I might roll with this guy a little bit.
He's starting to have the injury bug.
I just don't know who I would pick over. Lamar is the only player that I would
injuries are starting to become a thing for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty major injury that's kept him out. That's made that team just start to look like they're absolutely nothing. I think the most is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you're putting anybody above them right now.
I think Mark he said, is he a hybrid? I think Josh Allen was a hybrid, and now he's and this is so hard for me to say because Cody loved Josh Allen so much. Like, this is kind of what the trajectory of Cam's career I wanted to happen.
And it started to, but the injuries.
Yeah, but what was it?
Away.
Yeah, I mean, it did. Yeah. So if Josh Allen continues to like become this boy, he is developed as a elite passer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that he's gotten older, he knows that he can't just throw his body around willfully anymore. He has to be sort of careful. So I do agree with you. I mean, he is an elite pocket passing quarterback. There is no throw on the field that he can't make, and the vision is absolutely elite. Yeah,
who
Josh
would you
Allen's
take over him? Nobody.
You're full of it. I know. You're lying now.
Who?
He's
Wait,
just trolling now.
No. Trevor Lawrence. All right, well, next call.
Wait.
Gotta wait till this call's over. I'm playing the call. You gotta wait.
Brian Thomas Jr. on Sunday had the most drops in NFL history in a game at 11. That's insane.
Hold on.
11 drops.
Cody.
Yeah, he had Brian Thomas Jr. had 11 drops. It was the most drops by a wide receiver in a game in NFL history, dude.
Cody, I have to ask: Are you not trolling? Like, you legitimately would take Trevor Lawrence over any quarterback in the league right now?
No, dude, I'm not taking over Josh Allen. I'm not even
talking about that. 11 drops needs to be talked about.
That's
insane,
for sure, man. Dude, that's fucking
11.
absurd.
You guys are ready to quit on XL.
Right?
This motherfucker, he had 3 years of XL in one game.
Right, that's what I'm saying, dude. So, hey, I'm just saying, it's hard to look good at quarterback if you have a receiver dropping 11 passes.
All right. Good job, Cody. Good job. Well done.
I do.
Nice. I do this for a living.
Yeah.
Yo, this is the shop. What's good with y'all dudes?
What up? What's up, Rashad?
Yeah. for y'all. When Rico has 10 plus carries in a game, the team is 4-0. When Rico has at least 17 carries a game, the team is 3-0. When Rico has at least 20 carries in a game, we're 2-0. Therefore, what I'm saying is, the more carries he has, the better he is. Now, I'm not saying Super shouldn't get no carries, but he should get the leftover carries. You have to get Rico the ball at least 17 to 20 times a game. Rico the ball at least 17 to 20 times a game. Let him carry that rock, punish and beat down that defense, and make the game easier for, Andy Dalton. More so Andy Dalton than more fucking Bryce Young. But again, we got Ejiro, which he could be resigned. Derek Brown, all pro. J.C. Horn, all pro.
Oh, JC. Best game of his career.
Man, dude.
But I think
This is a good segue to our next slide.
The real list to this win. The defense in the run game. 21-20. Panthers.
I love it. Let's go.
Yeah. So, jumping into this, dude, some of these defensive players that we have right now, they're not even just putting up good numbers for Panthers. They're putting up good numbers for NFL players in general. But now this is also an example of why PFF, dude, they're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the way that they grade stuff, right? So one, Derek Brown is a man amongst boys.
He's the biggest
You hear
man.
me? This dude is throwing fools around, 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, and 3 pass breakups. Like
Career high in sacks already.
Yeah, man, dude. Like this dude is an absolute monster. J.C. Horn graded in at an 84.9. Like our boys are playing lights out, dude. Lights out. Now, PFF recognizes them for that. But how about they gave Cade Mays a 52.6? Like this dude isn't beating the shit out of opposing defensive tackles. It's embarrassing, man. I don't know how they could be so good on certain players who are so obviously good and then so bad on certain players that are obviously bad. But to JD's call, the defensive players that we have right now, they're playing incredible, man. Mike Jackson also looking good, showing why him and J.C. Horn are a dynamic tandem. I know a lot of people want to give Mike Jackson some shit every once in a while, but this dude, you could do a lot worse than Mike Jackson. Absolutely. And
can I throw a stat up?
Sure.
For Derek Brown that you guys are gonna like, or at least I think.
Yep.
Next gen stats right here. Fastest sacks, like in time, seconds. Derek Brown look, Nick Scorton is 14 on the list at 2.66 seconds. Derek Brown up here twice, baby. Look at this. Next gen, we got 3 Carolina play. Well, 2. How about that? Derek Brown elite. He a boss. He's a real deal. He's a dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's becoming undeniable. And the question that they were asking in one of the Panthers midweek shows that they put on was, is he getting better? I mean, because it feels as though like he had his historic year 2 years ago, got hurt last year. Tackles. Yeah, right. And this year it just feels like he is turning it on every other way beyond that. Like
he's running sideline to sideline. He's keeping up with Justin Fields. My favorite play in this game against the Jets, CK, it almost happened but didn't, is I think it was Fields going out of bounds and he was running out of bounds and Brown had him for another second, and he just went and
Right.
hammered his arm. I was like, oh my God, I would never want to be hammer armed by Derek Brown. I mean, he's violent. He's a fucking, I think we have to start having this question right now, or this conversation. At what point are we going to say he is in the conversation for best defensive tackle in Panther history? And we're talking about Chris Jenkins. We're talking about some real fucking names. Star to KK. Like, I mean, there are real names at the defensive tackle position, and Derek Brown, I think, arguably at this point in the way he's playing right now, and there's still years on his career going forward. I mean, he could go. I think Chris Jenkins, to me, is the best defensive tackle I've ever seen play. And in the Carolina Panthers blue. And I'm ready to well, I can talk about Derek Brown and Chris Jenkins in the same conversation.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible, dude. Yes. This is good news. Good news. Cody, what do we got next?
So Derek Brown being so dominant has allowed for our best defensive performance of the year. Dude, how about this, boys?
What's the statistics of him? Percentage?
Sacks.
Two of them.
Dude, 6 sacks. The last time we had a performance this dominant on defense was back in 2021. So our defense is firing on all cylinders. I think we all owe Jero Rivero an apology. The defense is playing out of its mind. Maybe there was some method to the madness and why they decided to give him some benefit of the doubt and not having a lot of good players last year. And I even said this on the free-for-all. And I think I might have even said this on the Sunday show too, that you can almost justify everything that happened with the Jero Rivero's defense last year just based off of the fact that it didn't have Derek Brown. I mean, you see what a difference his presence
they have some
actually
other
makes
players,
on this
dude.
football. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying it has shown
like a linebacker.
It has shown how important everything that we do is when Derek Brown is on the field. It shows how important to this team he is.
I think that is I'm not trying to take away from Derek Brown. I think he's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I think he is the linchpin. I don't think the defense would have been as good as it is right now last year even with Derek Brown. Like, I think Derek Brown is the fucking sun that draws the gravity, right, that people revolve around. But there are other players making some real fucking plays too. And Morg, I mean, these guys are really, I think that you have to have a player like Brown to allow other players to thrive. So I don't think that like Evero's defense would have been to this level last year.
Sure.
I don't think it would be as good as it is, though. Cody, what do we got next?
We have this is showing where the Panthers' run defense ranks. I mean, we're literally number 4 in the NFL. We've only given up 134 rushing yards over the past 3 games combined.
That's insane. That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
19 against the Dolphins. We had 79 yards total between the Dolphins and the Cowboys. And then I think they had like 80 for the Jets. It's great.
I know, man. I'm loving it. This defense is literally everything that we were hoping that it would be.
Well, actually, here's my question to you: is actually it's a statement. This defense is more than I thought it. What I expected, not expected it to be, but hoped it would. Like, I didn't think it would be this. I would have been happy with this defense being okay. Now we're starting to get if the Panthers can fucking clamp down on Buffalo, we're sitting here going, the fucking Panthers defense is the fucking truth, bro.
They are as of right now. And again, if we do this to the Bills, that's a real statement, man. Real statement. The last but not least, before we get into the Know Your Foe from Panthers.com.
Before that.
Yeah, but we're moving up. We're moving on up to the east side, boys. We are currently ranked number 18 according to Pro Football Talk's power rankings. Better than the Cowboys, Vikings, Bengals, Commanders, Texans, Giants, Ravens, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, Saints, Titans, Dolphins, Jets. Dude, we are moving up, man. We're moving in the right direction. This is a resurgent Carolina Panthers, man. That's why I put it in the title. Everything that we want is still out in front of us. All we have to do is go get it. And we're going to play teams on this list. We play the Rams. We play the Packers. We're going to play the Buccaneers. We play the Falcons again. We're about to play the Bills. So everything that we want is still out in front of us, man.
CK, switch the list. Because we have to think about are there teams right in a couple of spots ahead of us and a couple of spots below of us that are mixed up. I see one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all see the one that you're talking about.
Let's say it.
The Falcons.
Yeah, damn right.
I mean, it's kind of a dumb thought that they lost to the Panthers 30-0. And just because they beat the Bills, and then, by the way, got shellacked this week. Like, it wasn't like they were playing very well. Like, they were, it wasn't like they lost 30-0, but they didn't win. They lost pretty convincingly this week. And so I think that having them ranked not just ahead of us, like 2 spots ahead of us, they have them in the top half of the league, and with a worse record than we have. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Not only did the Panthers shut them out, CK, 30-0. The Panthers are 4-3. The Falcons are 3-3. They have a worse record. We beat them and beat the fucking brakes off these bitches. And this is a travesty.
Yeah.
This is whoever made this list, PFT, you're a great list maker, because then we're going to talk about this shit. Because this is the thing that makes lists fucking get legs.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, is like this is a personal bias. Something right here is the Chargers and us have the same record. Let's go. Like, all right, you want to say the Chargers are a better team? You believe him? Just like, fine. The Falcons have a worse fucking record, and we blank them bitches. Blank them.
But they're like,
we need to call this motherfucker up. I want whoever wrote this list to come on this podcast and fucking explain it.
But here's my issue with regard to that list in particular and having them ahead of us is I think the Falcons, it's like every year they get this unbelievable praise within sports media. Like, and it just rarely ever actually culminates into anything. And now, are they a better team this year than they were last year? I think it's pretty clear that they are. But I think we're also a much better team than we were last year. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Falcons have a worse record than us last year? Or were they just better than us?
I think they did have a worse record. They had less sacks than us, which is crazy. And this is all there's a lot of bias in this.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to, or not comes down to, but like you want to expose the bias right now, I'll expose it. The Falcons got shut out by the Panthers, a division team. Shut out. The Panthers have a better record. And then the NFC Player of the Week goes to Bijan Robinson, who had like 2 less yards than Dowdle in that big game.
Well, they
And
can't
yeah,
give it to
I
them 2
understand
weeks
it
in a
was a
row.
Monday night game. I mean, like, look, you can put the lights and all of this. This is bias. I'm sorry. I am less mad about the Bears being ahead of us than I am the Falcons. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I think
teams
the
would
Bears look
choose
like a
is
different team. Yeah.
I think you switch the Panthers and the Falcons in this list. I'm okay with it.
I don't know that I'd put the Panthers above the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers definitely fell off. Like, I'm not going to sit there and argue about that.
Listen, if we beat the Bills, we're talking about an entirely different conversation because the Falcons did that. And, say what you want about the Bills this year, but they have been at the AFC Championship, the past like 3 or 4 years in a row now or something wild. It matters if you beat a team like that. And Atlanta did that. Now, they also lost to
every team we've beaten we beat the Cowboys, we've beaten we did beat the Falcons. They were ahead of us. We beat the Jets. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Have we beaten a team ahead? No.
But again, we do play a lot of these teams out ahead of us. So right now, I'm not worried about these power rankings.
I'm not worried about it, but
I'm just saying I put it in there to signalize that we are at least moving in the right direction, and the Panthers are starting to get some respect from people who are noticing what we're doing.
All right, let's go back to the calls. The number is 252-228-5098. Last chance to get in on the podcast. A couple calls to go. Let's hear your voice.
Gentlemen, greetings from beautiful Idaho. Tater out here. Just wanted to call in. Got to admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong, man. I said after week 4 that
Evero would be fine.
Fighting for third place in this division, and now it's looking like all right, we've got a chance. We're putting some things together. I'm looking at it thinking, look at those Bucks. If we were missing Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard and T-Mac and Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker all in the same 4-game span, we'd have a lot of excuses while the Bucks still went out there and went 4-1 without those guys. So I think we've got a lot of room to go there. But at the same time, I was wrong, man. I thought this team was going to be 4 or 5 wins this season, and now it's looking like, all right, we're building on next year, which is what I was hoping for anyway, is next year to be a good year. I'm excited. It's just good to see competitive football and not want to turn the game off in the middle of the second quarter. What I got a question for you guys is, I don't know, everybody's optimistic. I don't think Bryce is playing this Saturday. It sounds like he's out from what I'm reading. Seems to be some mix up there, but from what I'm reading, he's out. My question to you guys is, all right, so Andy Dalton's our backup. How long until we put Hendon Hooker in just to see what we got? Do we give Andy Dalton a 7-point swing, a 10-point swing? Do we see how he throws it? I'd love to see what we have in Hendon Hooker for the future. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Love C3. Keep pounding, boys. Keep it up.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
CK, you're right that we do face something of a conundrum, right? In that we want Bryce to be out there to be able to prove himself against a really good passing defense like the Buffalo Bills. But, I don't know if that's, going to happen. I think more than likely it's going to be Andy Dalton starting this Sunday.
I agree.
But it is going to be illuminating seeing the difference between Dalton and Bryce Young for 4 quarters of football. And, look, the simple fact of the matter is Bryce is a very divisive quarterback. You either love him or you think that he's just straight up mid, or you think that he's just not the guy to be a franchise quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And this was an opportunity for him to win a lot of people over. And now we won't be able to have that. But what I will say, though, there is another opportunity the very next week because we're going to have to go on the road in Green Bay to try to beat the Green Bay Packers. And Michael Parsons just had a 3-sack game. It was the most sacks he's ever had in that game. So, dude, there's more opportunities. So I don't want us to just completely dwell on this matchup with the Buffalo Bills. I want him to get healthy, take the time. This is a bad rush defense that we're going up against. Let Dalton go in there, do his thing, and be healthy and ready to go by the time we play the Packers.
Cody, we only have a few more calls. Let's go back to the show. I think it's time to figure out who we're playing. The Panthers are hosting the Buffalo Bills. They are 8-point underdogs at home on a 3-game winning streak. The Bills vulnerable and lost to the Atlanta Falcons, but Vegas, the people, believe that the Bills have the advantage, and it has to be because of that man right there.
Yeah, buddy. This is Know Your Foe, courtesy of Panthers.com. This has been something of a tradition the past few weeks as we read these. The reigning MVP. Let me turn this banner off so I can read.
Love you, Mom. My mom in the chat.
Shout out to Mama Dunn. The reigning MVP, Josh Allen, is the reigning MVP of the league for a reason. The quarterback has been playing on a different level the past couple of years. Over the course of 12 games, the Bills' Week 12 bye in 2024 and the Week 3 win against the Dolphins, including playoffs, the offense had 1 turnover. It was the first time such a stat had been posted in NFL history. Since then, Allen has thrown 4 interceptions. What sets Allen apart from other quarterbacks is not his ability to do 1 or 2 things really well, but to do everything well. That includes knowing when to hang in the pocket, when to break free, and buy his receivers time downfield, or when to road grade an offender. Through 6 games, Allen has 1,397 yards and 11 touchdowns to those 4 interceptions with a 68.5 completion percentage. Additionally, he's added 254 rushing yards, which is second most by any quarterback in the league right now, behind Justin Fields, and has the second highest scramble percentage, 12% amongst qualifying quarterbacks. Allen also has the most scramble rushing yards, 250 of any quarterback this season, even with the bye. He also scrambled for 83 yards that resulted in a pass. So pretty much we already knew this. Josh Allen is the man, and our defense is going to have their handfuls. However, knowing that you threw 4 interceptions, I'm hoping that J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson are licking their chops. I dare them to get aggressive against our boys.
That's cute. That is cute. But do you guys remember when you said that interception in Dallas was not against Bryce?
Right.
So I have not watched every play and every snap of Buffalo. I have not. But I watched that final interception against Atlanta, and it was arm hit, deflection. You know what I'm saying? It was not a throw that was an interception. It was something that became like you could. So we can go ahead and say, if we're going to do that for our quarterback, then we need to do it for Allen. And we don't need to, but 4, that's 3. Are those numbers? Is he a turnover machine all of a sudden? This guy is, to me, Josh Allen is if Cam Newton and Aaron Rodgers had a baby. I mean, for real, I'm really he is growing into he's still mobile. He's still all of those things. But now
it just seems like he gets better year over year. It's not really you're seeing him regress. And maybe this is the first season that you're seeing maybe a little bit of that, but it's so.
And do we really know if it's happening? So,
it's surface level, right? It's just is it really that, or is it the combination of the fact that they don't have a defense giving them, and they're having to basically stay aggressive in situations maybe they would prefer not to be aggressive? I mean, there's so many possible reasons behind the apparent decline of what their offense had been in years past. Listen, I
Josh
think
Allen
there's
the
probably a bit of
golden
both.
race. There was a thing at one point where it was like all the races will come together to make the epic race.
Josh Allen.
The golden race. Cam
But that's
Newton.
if
Did you hear Aaron Rodgers is married?
I don't
That's
even
not
believe it.
country that.
If
Yeah.
Cam
It's this
Newton,
weird thing now,
Yeah,
like
I-
this.
I
He
think
said it
that
on Pat
if-
McAfee. Cody, CK, did you hear it? I didn't.
I didn't
I
hear it,
don't
but
believe it.
I did see something about him talking about how he had gotten married.
oh yeah, a
for
woman,
him.
that,
I
a woman
like
that
that one.
a woman that no one has ever seen. My thing is if you gave
What
if-
you don't think that Aaron Rodgers? So did you just be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers acted like he could get a wife but couldn't?
well, I mean, listen, he's been with all these high profile women. He's been with Olivia
Oh my
Munn,
goodness!
Danica Patrick. Why not
First
just
that man
if you have a
in the comments?
if you have a wife,
Y'all are
if-
so dumb.
dude, if you have a wife, why not show her? What's her name? Who is she?
Because-
What does she look like? Come on, dude. It's so stupid. Aaron Rodgers
How is
is.
it?
I think he's the type of person
This
that would
is
pull
the
a
comment of the night.
Yeah, he would.
This
he-
is the
he's type of
comment
person
of the
to pull a anti-Semite.
season. This, I hope that gets an applause. That'll give him out a lot. Oh my God, that's the funniest mess. Good for you. All right, who else? Who's on defense? Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, the Bills added some key pieces in free agency this offseason, folding them into an already impressive unit to create a stout front. Ed Oliver, who's tied for a team high 2 sacks despite missing 4 games, when joined by Larry Bosa, Larry Ogunjobi, the latter of whom is now eligible, along with the defensive end Michael Hope, to return to serving after a 6-game suspension for taking roids, dude. Former Panther Shaq Thompson also joined the Bills as a free agent this offseason and has 24 tackles, 3 for loss, 2 sacks, and 2 passes defended this season. Heading into the bye week, the Bills also had the league's second best pressure rate in the league, thanks to Bosa, who is top 15 in quarterback pressure rate with 16.5%, and is on pace to have the best career stat in that column since 2020. The Bills have only had 1 star linebacker, Matt Milano, for 1 full game this season, as the veteran works back from a pectoral injury. Milano suffered the injury week 2, tried to return week 5, and tweaked it again. According to McDermott, he did not play in week 6. Tony, I said earlier, I think the Bills would probably be a trade candidate some point this season. I think they might go and get more to add to that linebacker core because they're hurting right now, and that's
they
the
want
reason.
the long hair wonder.
No, that's ours. Who? Rosemoon?
Yeah.
No, why the fuck would they do that?
Second round pick, baby.
We can't afford to get rid of him. But
Rosemoon for Allen. That's for you, Mark.
their front. But listen, if we have any chance of going up against this front 7, it's with the offensive line that we have now, and those hurt linebacking core that they have. That's the reason why the Panthers should be able to run the ball effectively, man.
Organized crime. We gotta be criminal. Like,
Yep.
keep it simple, but we need to strike. Here's what's gonna happen: is Dave Canales and the Panthers are gonna come out passing on that first drive. I know it, because it's like, you remember how you used to always say, "Oh, that Dave Canales can do what he likes to do with the red rifle." All of this, just get a touchdown. Get a touchdown before they do, and then let's run. But it's hard to run when you're down 7, and we don't want James to cook.
Well, listen, this Panthers legendary at this point rush defense was going up against James Cook. Sunday will be a matchup of the 2 top 3 rushing offenses in the league. The Bills side of the equation, thanks in part to James Cook heading into the bye week. Cook was second in the NFL in rushing yardage even with not playing on Sunday. Cook is still top 5, in the top 5, currently 4th overall in the league in total rushing yards with 573 total on the ground. His 89.5 rushing yards per game are still second in the NFL, trailing only Jonathan Taylor. Cook has 5 rushing touchdowns and has moved the chains 28 times. So listen, all the teams that we've played have sort of been iffy, but this is a really good rushing attack. If we're able to shut them down, dude, that is the biggest feather in our cap for the defense this year. If you shut down James Cook and Josh Allen, it's twofold.
Mark, don't worry, did not go too
You know
far.
we faced Bijan Robinson, right?
I know, but dude, James Cook, this
Yeah,
is a legitimate rushing attack, dude.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not saying
good.
that it's not. I said that in my initial discussion about the team as a whole. Like you got to stop James Cook because this offense really does. Even though you have Josh Allen, it does run through James Cook in a lot of ways.
But they don't do it enough, CK. That's the
Yeah.
thing is right now, if you listen to Bill's podcasters and like they're not running their by the way, it's Joe Brady.
Yes, it's Joe Brady.
Can we talk about that?
Dude, I always said that firing Joe Brady was a scapegoat firing, and it was. We would have loved to have had a guy like Joe Brady.
We just don't look, Joe Brady. There's too much revenge in this. It's scary. Like, you want to know why the line isn't 6? Joe Brady, Shaq Thompson, Bryce Young hurt. It would be 6. It would be 6, 5.5, maybe. I don't think it'll be much less than that. James Cook's good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But I will say this is he's because he's done it a couple of times. He's gotten his contract. He had to sit out a little. Dowdle's just as good as him. Dowdle, I fuck with Dowdle. Remember doing the who you pick in the backyard? Like, I'm picking Josh Allen every time. You know what? I got a big decision to make when it comes to James Cook and Rico Dowdle. And I'm not doubling my position. Rico, organized crime, I'm doing it. So they have to be careful. I don't think it's about stopping the run from them. I mean, we have to. You have to stop the run. At some point, I'm worried that the Panthers offense has to win this game, guys. Like, even if the Panthers defense is good.
Are you predicting a shootout?
No, but like, say the Panthers hold them to 20. Right? I mean, or 24. That's not a terrible defensive performance.
No, not against the Bills and Josh Allen.
No,
Not at
against
all.
anybody. And 24 is not if you hold under 18, you're a good defense. Over 18, not so good. Over 24, bad defense. If we hold, this is what I've been worried about. And now that Bryce is hurt, is that this is the game we might need the Panthers offense to win it.
Maybe so. Hey, boys, I got to dip out a little bit early.
All right, well, let's see here. Look, all right.
Yeah, let me give y'all
What's
my
your picks?
predictions.
We only got 4 more calls.
Yeah,
who you picking to win?
I am picking the Panthers to stay undefeated in the bank, baby. We're gonna get it done. I'm going to predict. Let me see. I'm gonna say 27-21.
Dude, just got to keep in mind, Cody, if you are right, this would be the most ironic pick ever because this is the pick that made your season prediction become completely
I've never wanted to be wrong more than right now, baby. Let's
there you go,
dude.
He originally picked the. All right.
Yeah, I only had this happen 4 wins this
bye,
year.
bye, Cody. Thank you for
C3 Legion. I love y'all. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Kristen Butler, Blackfire, Panther Gal, Easy Crape, the real AP. Y'all are them ones. Love y'all, and I will see y'all on Friday for the Friday Free for All. Peace and love, boys.
CK, are you editor privileges yet?
Yeah.
Can you just keep pressing the comments?
I got you.
That's what I want. All right, let's see if we can hit that. Yeah, like for real. Like Cody does so much. He's like fire as a personality. He's always moving these comments. Thank you, Harvey. CK, you know what you have to do. That's what he says right there. Tell me if we heard this one. I don't think we heard this one, but
Gentlemen,
is that the last one?
greetings from beautiful Idaho.
Yes.
Gator out here.
Okay.
Just
Baby, I'm calling back. I honestly, genuinely believe we can win this game without King Bryce. I'm not scared of the Buffalo Bills. And I'm sure in hell ain't fucking scared of fucking Josh Allen's overrated ass. A motherfucker that's led the league in turnovers since 2018. But motherfuckers praise this dude. Like, it's just
How has he led the turn?
How many Buffalo
Is that true?
Bill fans there are, man.
I mean, he was a turnover machine early on in his career. To be
Since
fair.
2018,
overrated, and they definitely be had.
we just read a
They're
stat though. He hadn't had a turnover in fucking a
We
year.
should be able to feed fucking Uncle
That
Rick
makes
every
that all the
day.
crazier of a stat.
My fucking dog. Dave, did you watch the Detroit game, Dave? The Detroit versus Bucks game? You know what Detroit did? They let Jameer Gibbs be great. They let him be special. They let Jameer Gibbs took the fuck off, boys. And that we're gonna feed the hot
G
hand.
baby, put your fucking face in the phone.
That's how I view Uncle Rico.
Like he's a Mormon from Utah. All right.
Alabama.
I can't do it.
That's why I fucking
I'm
love
sorry.
him.
I can't do it anymore. I can't hear you. Just get up in it. Just right up in it.
Hey guys, it's the Growl that makes them howl, aka Joey the Blind Panther. I'm not calling going home, y'all mix that.
My mom's
like
still.
I did that last time. I just had to go in. I had to take my victory lap with that.
Mom, you should go to bed.
But yeah. We won yet another game since they've been gone. Man, whatever. I don't want to talk about that. But what I do want to talk about is, well, crap. I guess I'm really still salty about this meow mix shit. But I guess I'm going to talk about the game that I am not thinking that I'm crazy for predicting us to possibly win our fourth game since they've been gone. Because the Bills don't look too hot against the Falcons. And, you know, the Falcons, the team that the Niners just beat 20-10, and the team that our very own beat 30-0. And they kind of had their way with the Bills. They were not, the Bills kind of looked mortal. They looked human, which was
They did.
kind of crazy to see. But yeah, I don't know, especially now Andy Dalton playing for us. Now my dad seems to think that Andy Dalton is going to give us a better chance to win than Bryce. I honestly don't know what the hell
It's
he's
his dad,
watching.
Cody.
But from what my blind eyes have been watching, I think Bryce is just, he keeps gelling and he keeps getting better and getting better and better and better with this offense. And you just hate to see him go down like that, especially in a bullshit game against a bullshit team. But Andy Dalton, he should be able to hold the fort. I have a lot of faith in him that he will be, and that he's in Cam Newton's draft class, which is crazy to think about. Absolute insanity. But yeah, it should be an interesting game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers won. I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't, because we're facing the Bills. But anyway, guys. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of a game like this is if we walk away and we've lost the game, I don't think anybody is like, man, we should have won that. right? But if we walk away and we win this, it's like we shouldn't have won that. You know what I mean?
It's
Type of
far
situation.
different than the Jets game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
It's not,
As the
there's a
Jets
lot less
game was
pressure.
not a must win.
Yeah.
It was a must not lose. Because it's
Agreed.
just one game. So we can walk away from this game saying, oh, the Bills, blah, blah, blah. We're trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Quarterback hurt. We have all these reasons. If we win this game, we rolling. We rolling.
Keep rolling.
I know. We got next.
Real quick, it's me, C-Dog,
Mom,
3 TV.
I love
Whenever
C-Dog,
you
so
come
you
in
might
here,
want to
please
just
hit the like button.
mute your
Please keep
TV.
watching the great content. The
For
C3
real. This is
Podcast
my...
is the longest running Panthers podcast on YouTube. Real quick, this past game, man, I was so, man, Canales, like, what, man, I don't know what the fuck Canales be got them doing, man. Rico, I've been telling y'all, Rico is better than fucking Chuba, you know. But then he come out here, he didn't even have a fucking game plan for splitting the reps with the running backs, you know.
They did. It was just
Like, man,
one
just
drive,
give
one drive.
Chuba 15 carries and give goddamn Rico 15
CK
carries.
got a big
And
problem
give
with
him
this
20 carries
vanilla.
apiece, something. Like, it's not that fucking hard, man. But let goddamn Rico start the fucking game. Rico is a ground and pound fucking running back. Let him start the fucking game. He's a downhill fucking runner. You could use Chuba as a change of pace back. Chuba was the fucking third down back when he came in the league anyway. All you motherfuckers clamoring Chuba this, Chuba that. Chuba was the fucking third down running back when he came in the fucking league. The fuck?
Rico wasn't
Chuba ain't been
undrafted.
a top 5 running back since he been in the fucking NFL. Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? And real quick, I got my man Hope Dilla was talking about the Mike White signing. That's another thing, man. Why the fuck we got that sign of Mike White? You know what I'm saying? We got fucking Hendon Hooker.
Why we got White?
Let's see what
Mike
the fuck
White.
Hendon Hooker got. You put Andy Dalton in the fucking football game Sunday when Bryce Young got hurt. First of all, we didn't even know this little motherfucker was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, you got to put Andy Dalton in the game. Like Hope Dilla said, you were basically just got them. You didn't even call. You were just calling bullshit. I don't want to see Andy Dalton in the fucking game. I want a young live arm with my goddamn quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what fucking Hendon Hooker could do. You know? Like, come on, man. Like, man. This is the prime opportunity to see what Hendon Hooker can do against the Buffalo Bills, man. Like, man, I don't understand the Mike White signing. But we should beat the Bills, man. But real quick, man, I hope everybody have a great fucking week. And everybody keep fucking pounding, man. You know, but man, I don't understand that Mike White signing, you know. I
Intelligence. We learned it.
And I'm done with Bryce. You know, he's a little motherfucker. You know, like, man, you can be a game manager, but you turn the ball over too much to be a fucking game manager. That's why I want to see him the hooker. Just me personally. But everybody have a great fucking week and keep fucking pounding, man. The C3 Podcast, is the longest running Panthers podcast.
Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Consider being a C3 super fan for just $1.99 a month. Many hands make for light work. Thank you for your time, your attention, your support, and for those super chats tonight. CK, I think the intelligence part, like getting a little info, is like, oh, now I get it. I see it. And then this was where the internet always wins. And someone said, do you remember when Hendon Hooker and Tennessee beat Bryce Young's Alabama? I was like, oh, shh. These mugs be ready. This is the last call of the night right here. And we'll wrap it up.
What's up, y'all? It's Lucas from Forest City. So, our quarterback, Bryce Young, is probably not going to play against Buffalo this week.
Not according to G-Baby.
We gave almost everything up for this kid. And he really hasn't done much feel these past 3 games. And now that we're playing a big dog like Buffalo, all of a sudden he's not playing. I wanted to say one thing about Bryce, and I want to know y'all's opinion on him. I've heard a lot of people say that all Bryce is a backup quarterback. He doesn't offer anything special. He's just another Marcus Mariota. He's just another Cooper Rush. He's just like them. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson or any other starter quarterback in this league. He's not even Brock Purdy.
Oh.
So it really upsets me because we gave everything up for this kid to draft him at number 1 just to draft a Marcus Mariota. I feel like that's the bet. I think Marcus and him are like 2 peas in a pod. They are like identical almost, besides Bryce is smaller.
Except for their size.
I'm curious what y'all think, because that is all Bryce is a backup quarterback. And I feel like we're just kind of wasting our time with him, honestly, because he's not even around when we need him in the big games like Buffalo, and he may not even be here when we play Green Bay next week. I feel like we're wasting our time with him, and I feel like we're wasting our time playing Andy Dalton. Put Hendon Hooker in, give him a shot at least. Now that our defense is obviously cooking, and everyone in our offense is cooking, I feel like we need to at least put a bridge quarterback in, or draft. I don't even want to draft a quarterback, honestly. Let's put a good bridge quarterback in. That's what we need to do in our offseason. I'm just curious what y'all think about Bryce.
All right, thank you.
Is he just a Marcus Mariota? Keep pounding, go Panthers.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate everybody's time, attention. You can smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. It's really hard to get subscribers, by the way. 14 years. We're almost at 7,000. We hit 100 subscribers in the last month. And a lot because I hit that Brian Baldinger short. And I got so we need y'all. We need your time, your energy, your calls. We thank you for it. CK, I'll let you take that initial response.
I mean,
Bryce
I think
Young,
it's
a backup.
I mean, I think it's TBD, right? To be determined. I don't think he's done anything to show that he is like a franchise quarterback in the league right this second. So, from the basic definition of a backup quarterback, I think, I think that's a fair criticism given his first 2.5 years of his career. Marcus Mariota, I think, has a different skill set, in all honesty. I think his is run first, throw the ball after. That's how it was when he first came into the league.
Not even a real skill set either.
Yeah.
Just big body.
Right. So
he's
I don't
the
know.
opposite of Bryce.
No,
in some ways.
Right. I agree.
Like he's big, tall, strong, run. He's the opposite of Bryce.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly an argument to be made on that.
Callers, I'm sorry, but to the caller's point is wow, the physical attributes are dissimilar. Their roles, right? Is he turned out to be a backup. He turned out to be a regular, I mean, a good backup, to be fair. I mean, it's just, it's certainly not what you want out of a guy that you draft number 1 overall after you give up, as the, caller talks about, you give up all the assets that you do. I think it's a fair concern to have when you're talking about a guy that you gave up so much to go get. I still think we're way too early in the process for me to be able to make that determination. I mean, everybody's going to say it's year 3. We're not fully through the year. And he's shown some promise. And we're starting to roll a little bit.
Yeah.
This is why you said, being here for this Bills game and the Panthers could win it, say they won it.
It was important.
It would be seminal for the team, to the point of backups and this and that. It's kind of crazy that the Panthers are like purgatory for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because Sam Darnold is crushing it. And I was hanging out with my boy he's a Jets podcaster, and we're talking. He's like, "Oh, what do you think about Sammy Dimes doing it?" I was like, "Oh man, this is like you come here to serve your penance. You do a little. You're in purgatory if you come to the Panthers. Baker, Sammy, like these guys are now both like MVP candidates, but they would not be that with the Panthers. I don't look. We need Bryce. We want to believe in Bryce.
Yeah.
We
imagine being a football fan in the state of New York, or at least in the Big Apple, if you will, and you look at the Sam Darnold situation, and as a Giants fan, you look at the Daniel Jones situation. Which, by the way, Jackson Dart, if I could speak today, doesn't look like he's bad. Like he looks like he could be a weapon for that offense. But you've got to look at that the fact that you let these two people walk out the door with no compensation, and they're out here making this entire league be put on notice about when we give up too early on some of these guys. And that's a part of the concern I have about trying to move on from a guy like Bryce, because and maybe I'm just being,
he's gonna be like good. Look at Mac Jones.
Yeah,
right now Mac Jones with the 49ers is with the guy that drafted him basically back then. Mac Jones is, look, we need Bryce Young to work.
Yeah.
Because if he fails this year, if Bryce Young is hurt now and the injury lingers and then he doesn't play well, the Panthers are going to be on move on territory. And then you're going to be looking
territory.
You're going to be looking for the next Sam Darnold, the next Geno Smith, which, by the way, Geno Smith is fucking putrid with the Raiders. But you're looking for that, you don't want to go back to the well with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And the Panther, look, I'm telling you, if John Gruden is our coach next year and Mac Jones is our quarterback, I don't know how it's going to be very hard for me on Sundays. Anyway, CK, we have, those are the calls.
Yep.
We've covered about it. Is there any football news? And I don't want to extend the conversation too much, but is my fantasy team, Jonathan Taylor, touchdown. What is sticking out to you in the NFL before we just close? Like when you think about the NFL, what's hitting your mind?
I just, the fact that nobody knows, right? As an example, we see the Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0. The Falcons go on a 2-game winning streak, beat the Buffalo Bills. And they do it somewhat convincingly. The Buffalo Bills then go on to lose to the Pats, who, by the way, destroyed us, and they kept it competitive with them. And then the Falcons lose to a very beaten and battered. Was it the 49ers that they faced this time? Yeah, 49ers, right? They I don't know. I think it's somebody calls it the parity in the league. I don't know that there's one team that you trust more than any other team to get it done right now, just because there is so much of this could go any way that's already taken place this year.
Big Mash why are we winning and the conversation always about a new quarterback? We actually don't want the conversation to be about a new quarterback.
Right.
That's actually what the real essence of the conversation was. And CK said it is having like we kind of I want Bryce to be the quarterback if we win this game.
Yeah.
And Cody, who had to leave, is somewhat worried that we're good without Bryce.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a good question to answer. I don't disagree with that part. I think it's an unfair question to be able to answer with the one game in this regard, because, we've seen the opposite of this. If he does come out and blow it up, we've seen him do the exact opposite with the exact same situation. So I would rather there be a Bryce Young moment where it's like this shows that we could put the game on his shoulders and it's not too big for him to be able to pull through.
One more thing leading us to wanting to sign the 5th-year option. Look, if we would have just won that Cardinals game,
right?
This game's inconsequential. But when we have the Bills at home, Packers on the road, then 2 division games. The stakes are high for the Panthers. We're excited right now. CK, who you got? Panthers
Brother,
hosting.
I have to keep doing what I've been doing, and I have to say I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win this game. I have done it for 3 weeks in a row, and I did it against when we faced the Falcons. Every time I pick the Panthers to win, we lose. So I don't even know why it's a question at this point. I am going to continue to choose the Panthers to lose until they can prove me otherwise.
I want the Panthers to win. I think there is a chance they can win. I don't think it's not like overmatched entirely. I am picking the Bills. 8-point favorites. Pick with your head, not your heart.
Yep.
Change my heart. CK, do you got an ice up pick tonight?
Yes. I don't have any footage to go along with it, but I do have an ice up pick.
What you got?
It's this.
Oh, again, wait. For you guys just tuning in, the ice up pick, and I'm not going to play it because Cody, I'm not even going to look through the 90 fucking videos that are in there that Cody takes care of. It's our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. We can step outside the football bounds. We just talk a little shit about the world, or at least get a little validation. CK, who you icing up?
I'm icing up the No Kings rally. And in this, I don't know, understand, and I don't know if it's just the coverage that you see with it, but it just feels like they've got these boomer older people that are just like somehow they're supposed to be the compassionate, like the people who like they're all so just angry and like vitriolic and just so disturbing with the things that they're saying. And so there's been obviously a few things, and many of these people at these protests have done some pretty disgusting things when it comes to the offensive stuff that they do. That is their prerogative. I'm not gonna. They have free speech, and everybody has the right to react to that free speech how they feel is necessary for them. But I'm just icing up those folks out of the No Kings rally because it's the people that actually put it on. This is a hysterical thing. It's the Nancy Pelosi's, the Joe Bidens, the all of these guys, right? Nancy Pelosi has been in power for 40 years. and all of this stuff. And Trump has been in power a total of 4 years and 4.5 years. So this idea that he is somehow the king when we have no term limits on the Senate, and the people in the Senate or in the any of the other branches of government have this long history of ruling with no oversight and no ability or moral compass that is directing them when it comes to things like investing and things like that, the insider trading that's all senators are somehow just allowed to do. Let's go ahead and say no kings about Trump.
My first eyes up pick goes to several of my confidants who have told me that I'm going to Kev's wedding this weekend. I'm going to my bastard son's wedding, and they've told me I should not make a speech. I should not be his best man. I should not walk him down the aisle. I said, I see you motherfuckers up. I'm the father here. And I'm being a part of this experience. So Kev, you better watch out. I'm gonna stand up. I'm be like, now my son, I'm so proud of you. You might not remember me. My second ice up goes to this is y'all cheap ass motherfuckers who send your kids to the other parent for money because now you gotta spend it. So fuck you. I can't say it because then you look like you don't love your kids, you don't do this, and I gotta be shelling out 20, 40, 60, 80. Guess what? That shit adds the fuck up. So ice up.
Ice up.
Take your $20 and pay for it, motherfuckers. Kev, I'm gonna give you the most epic speech. I'm gonna be like, Dad is here. I'm walking people down the aisle. You don't even know it. I'm not gonna. I have the people I care about the most. They're worried that I'm gonna be like, I gotta make a speech. I can't wait. I can't wait. That's the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. Friday free for all, where everybody can get in the Jazz. The post game, CK, I'm giving you a heads up. I'm coming back from the bastard son's wedding. You probably guys gonna have to half cover me, be in the car type stuff.
There might be a chance I go to the game.
Oh shit. Oh man. Mark, Bee's knees. We need some subs. Oh fuck.
Possibly. I don't know for sure yet.
Damn it. It's not that bad. I was just thinking about this. And then divorced parent. I was like, oh, I want to take my birthday is the 11th of November.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I was like, hey, I know I don't have you this weekend, but can we just do something for my birthday? What if you and I went to and he's going fishing with his papa? That's not my dad. It's the other dad. I don't know. Maybe I need to get that Saints ticket from you, bro, for my birthday. Not buy it. I'm buying it from you.
Hey, you just let me know.
Or maybe you and I should go for my birthday.
You know what? I'll talk to the wife.
Let's think about that. Because my birthday is the 11th. I hate the Saints. I love you. I love this podcast. Cody's not here, so we're not going to have any fancy intro. 3, 2, 1. I'm ending the stream. Pay your $20, bitches.